Oi, oi. Flat Earth British, Martin Liedtkes speaking. Welcome back to another Flatterday. Seem to have gone a bit green. Better. Anyway. Double flat thumbs to infinity thrice. Buckle in, guys. This is going to be a crazy ride. Double flat. And my comms are super fantastic and in order. So it's a wonderful time to be alive, I must say, guys. I'm really excited about all the things that are happening in there's never a dull moment in the truther community, and this week has been no exception. Now, as you can see, the Hindenburg staged event. So this week seems to be a lot of emphasis on balloons, and I noticed this morning online that weirdly Google have declared that they have withdrawn their loon balloons. So the satellites. So what is exactly going on with all of that? I can't really state, but I think that they think we were all born yesterday is what I think. I think they think we're all stupid or something, because they are just really just giving the game away right now, guys. Okay. What we're going to look into in this is the narrative, the story of the Hindenburg disaster, which put an end to the age of ballooning. Now, how is that even possible that it put an end to the age of ballooning because it was a supposed air disaster? I mean, airplanes, crash into the runway in Tenerife and kill 250 people. Other planes go missing in the South China Sea. And it doesn't scare everyone off of flying on airplanes, does it? But this was a well-choreographed media operation. So what I did with the Hindenburg, because it's a great mystery as to what happened to it. So I thought I would pick it apart and use my deductive reasoning and detective skills. So I went right into it. Okay. I mean, burning temperatures of materials, what could have been, the reason for its explosion, the political motivations, and everything else. A dozen angles. Okay. One thing that stood out just screaming at me is the same MO we get for all of the other most important times in historical narratives. It is staged and set up. Now, you can make your own minds and your own decision. I will show you and put the quick case forward at the start of this post to show you exactly what I mean. And then you will see what I see, that they are staging these key historical events. And I will go as far as to say, guys, that most of the key historical events that you witness on your television sets, if you've got one, or reading newspapers in the mainstream, is staged. I mean, all of it. And this is no exception. This is non-reality. This is miracle upon miracle. This is bullshit, is what this is. Like I said, they must think we're born yesterday, guys. This is really insulting. We'll go through it. There's a dozen things. Now, because the week has run away with me, I didn't actually post another post this week. So now I have a ton of information in this post. So buckle in, because there's going to be a lot happening in this post. So we're going to start with what I found on the Hindenburg, and you may be very surprised. We're going to talk about the Metal Palace in Colorado. I'm not sure if you've seen that. Nazi America in 1937, when the Hindenburg actually went up in flames, was on the eve of World War II. They knew that they were going to go into war in 1937, kicked off a little bit later. America was well on its way to being social nationalists, National Socialists, Nazis, well on its way to being a Nazi nation. I will show you all of this in this vlog. We're going to look into some Woodstock later, some trans investigation with the Edwardian women. Now, I can't believe, it's difficult for my brain to believe, that all chicks in the past had dicks. Is that a thing? There must have been some women in the past. Otherwise, where the fuck did we arrive from? What we'll have a little look at that because it's a bit weird. And somebody suggested that that's what the incubators were doing, introducing women. I don't think so. I think Cleopatra, she spoke 17 languages. She was a chick. Anyway, I'm just saying. So we're going to share a ton of stuff. Hanoi Exposition 1902, some Bangkok 1892. Just a ton to blow your minds. Whoa, Mac Zulu. Good to see you, my brethren. Been a while. So we're going to pick this apart, use our Sherlock Holmes skills, deductive reasoning, which is what I do, and see what you think. There's a lot in this anyway, guys. The Singer building in New York. We're going to look into Chicago. I've dozens, like a dozen films. This is basically about 10 shorter vlogs spaced out into a Flatterday night evening for everyone to enjoy. You don't have to watch all this in one go. You can break this down into increments and watch it throughout the week. But if you are in the chat feed right now, okay, the time will go like that. I mean, it will just fly by because there'll be so much information in this post. Juicy information. Juicy, never seen before images. And new ways of thinking. We're going to talk about antiquities. We're going to talk about trapping souls. We're going to talk about all of that later on. Hey, Heroina. Hey, Dagon. And a big universal hug. And much love to you all. Okay, let's get stuck in because I got a lot to get through this week. And it is a little bit of an earlier start because of that, because of how much that I have to squeeze in. Saturloons, yeah, I'll show you. There's a thing that came up in the newspaper today. I caught a fit on the Facebook that says that they withdrew them. So they're telling everybody that they have, but I don't think that's the case. Anyway, let's look into this. Okay, now see what you think. Please comment in the comment section as to what you think of all of this. Burada, Brian Bachin, Rocket 64's in the house. Yeah, well, I was thinking about that, Rocket 64. I was thinking, well, they got rid of the balloons, and we're convinced that the goldgenated tartaria, that was the mode of transport. This is a safe, good mode of transport. It's floating around. So I was wondering if it was anything to do with, it came from Frankfurt, the Zeppelin, all the way to America, across the Atlantic Ocean, apparently going against the supposed spin of Earth. I'm guessing respectively in New York around 620 miles an hour of spin, while a balloon floats gently across the Atlantic. Maybe they thought that it would be a little bit too much later on with, the bullshit of Coriolis effect and everything else, and people are going to be scratching their heads wondering how a balloon is floating that way against the supposed spin of Earth, which they don't have in the modern day. In fact, ballooning is kept right down. The big deal that they have over ballooning is people like Felix Baumgartner or Charles Bronson. That's not his name. But Branson, he did a little balloon trip, and that all went to shit, didn't it? And they don't want people getting in balloons like Picard and going up to maybe 10 miles up and seeing that the Earth is flat and lipped on the outside. There's a lot of reasons that I'm thinking that they didn't want to go with balloon flight, apart from it being fantastically safe. The miracles that happened in the Hindenburg, this thing is supposed to be fueled by or floated with hydrogen gas. Apparently helium was banned in the Americas. They filled it up with highly inflammable hydrogen. We'll look into the physics and the feasibility of all of that working a little bit later on. They must think we're fucking stupid. And God, 1,000 things besides. So 400 of you just showed up. I'm really grateful to you all. I've got to get my eyes working. I've got a bit of a head on me. So make sure to please share this out if you would. Dick Branson. He worked with friends of mine on the buildings up the valleys, and they all said he was really normal and down to earth and nice for a billionaire. Richard, that was it. So I don't doubt it, but these breadheads, they all got the same sort of lifestyle. I wouldn't piss on any one of them if they were on fire, is how I feel. Okay, guys, I'm not being unpleasant, but I don't think there's many of us actually in here. I really don't. I mean, they steal souls. I think they fuck with everyone in their sleep. I think they abduct you in your sleep. I think that there's a lot going on in this realm that we know is happening, and it's on the tip of our tongue, and we can sense it, and we're like, holy fuck, no. Because you realize how much, this bullshit lie and how deep it's gone, how far away we came from who we were, we're Superman and super women. We're not floating around at the moment, are we? But we're getting there. We're getting back there. This is just a fantastic ride. I'm sure you'll all agree. So there's Hippie shaking the house. Okay, she's sharing Manny Ages channel, which is awesome. Okay, then let's get stuck in. Hi, lovely Joe. Lovely to see you, girl. Okay, let's get stuck straight in, guys. Now, I'm going to show a load of film and a load of video all the way through this. Okay, guys, there's going to be a lot to enjoy. You want to see much of this before. Thank you, Pants On. I nailed it. You want to see much of this before or any of this stuff. It's always fresh on Flat Earth British and new ways of thinking, as I'm sure you already know. So make sure to share this out if you would. Let's get stuck straight into the juiceage. Oh, the humanity. Sort of give it away, if you ask me. The whole speech and the whole narrative for basically this Hindenburg, had been across the Atlantic Ocean 10 times prior to this one. 10 times. And did all of the media turn up in all of the other landings? No, they never did. Only for this one, here it comes floating across the Atlantic Ocean, all the way from Frankfurt. It's the biggest Zeppelin on Earth. And then you can see it going across New York City. Fantastic. They actually coupled to the top of the Statue of Liberty in some photographs. And let's just move on. So there she is. They got good footage. And there she is coupling on. Now, we have established in the Golden Age of Tartaria, this setup here is what you see from, a lot of towers in antiquity. The Antiquitech towers or belfries, landing platforms. We've well established now on Flat Earth British for the Golden Age of balloons. But this put an end to it all, apparently. Now, on the Eve of War, as I said, so it's coupled up, okay, to its moorings. I'm guessing the thing blows around quite a bit, but these things swivel. And then there was a horrendous explosion on the port wing. Fin, I should say. Now, this is for the people, and you'd think that everyone would have been instantly incinerated, but no, people are walking out. Not only that, if you take a look at the thumbnail for my video, okay, you can see the thumbnail for my video. That's in daylight, isn't it? Yeah, it's in daylight. But when you get to the disaster, it's in the dead of night. So which one actually is it? Is it like I've got in dozens of photographs in the middle of the day? Or is it in the dead of night? Because you can't have both, can you? So I've got another video that I discovered. This is the official newsreel. Now, it turns out that there was a guy there, a reporter, using a new science in recording technology. This never went out live. It was edited and pushed across medias for the following week. The story. And no two media operations had the same story. It stinks. Now, this thing has gone up in all of that temperature and people are just stepping out. So I've got like the building schematics and everything for this. I've looked into where all of the hydrogen fuel tanks are kept, the feasibility of the captain walking out and all of those people walking out here. Basically, how is that even possible? The captain's up on the bridge. So what did he do? He walked down a staircase when all of the walls and the heat and there's no air because of the extreme temperatures of hydrogen, which burns at 2,000 degrees. And boom, it comes down. And at this moment, the captain literally steps out. Not only that, 90 odd people just step out of this carcass, they tell you. Wow, that's like the greatest miracle in the history of miracles, guys. And then it all crumples down and it disappears. So they say that there was hydrogen tanks that kept it afloat. Okay, well, hydrogen gas or hydrogen, its boiling point is 2,182 degrees. This Zeppelin was made out of aluminium. Aluminium's melting point is 660.3 degrees. There shouldn't have been anything of that frame left if it had been hydrogen. All of this would have been melted, showing, without a shadow of a doubt, that something else is going on. I don't think anybody's actually gone and, white hot steel. No, it should have been melted. I got some examples of the steel. They look a bit fudged. I was wondering if some sort of thermite was used. And no, it's melted a bit, but this whole thing should have been gone with 2000 degrees. This thing should have been evaporated. And as you can see, there's people just walking out. And in the narrative of this correspondent who just turned up, there's a load of photographers, but there's only ever the one angle from the one side. This is in New Jersey. And I got the statements for this dude who done this, and it's like he's talking to children. He's acting, and he's acting really poorly. Okay, I will link this video up. You can examine it yourself. So in the official story, I think this pretty much gives it away, if you ask me. So there's an endless amount of photographs. You've got all of this, but you don't get as much for, like, the building of the IFS. You don't get anything for that, but they got everything to do with the Hindenburg. So the disaster was well documented, heavily publicized. About the first transatlantic passenger flight of the year by the Zeppelin to the United States had attracted a large number of journalists to the landing. So the ones previous, they didn't have all of these journalists because you can't find any film of any of that happening anywhere online. But they turn up, all the journalists in the world, to watch the first one of this year. Okay. Thus many crews were on site at the time the airship exploding. And so that there was a sufficient amount of newsreel coverage and photographs, that's handy, as well as Herbert Morrison's eyewitness report for radio station WLS in Chicago, and the report was broadcast the next day. So it wasn't live, and that famous "Oh, the humanity" speech is here. But this is interesting, and this proves to me, like the flag of Iwo Jima, that this is set up. Radio broadcasts were not recorded at the time. However, an audio engineer and Morrison had chosen the arrival of the Hindenburg to experiment with the recording for a delayed broadcast. And thus Morrison's narrative of the disaster was preserved. Oh, there's very fucking convenient. Parts of Morrison's broadcast were later dubbed into the newsreel footage set up, just like a bit like Apollo, that they gave the impression that the words in the film were recorded together. No, all set up, just like Iwo Jima flag. Okay, so this is the speech of Whole Humanity. You can read it there, but I think we can listen to it by here.
It's starting to rain again. The rain had slacked up a little bit. The back motors of the ship are just holding it just enough to keep it from... It bursts into flames. Get it started. It's crashing terrible. Oh, my, get out of the way, please. It's bursting into flames, and it's falling on the mooring mast and all the folks between it. This is terrible. This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world. Oh, it's like 400 or 500 feet into the sky, and it's a terrific crash, ladies and gentlemen. The smoke and the flames now, and the flame is crashing to the ground, not quite to the mooring mast. All the humanity and all the passengers screaming around it. I told you, I can't talk to people. His friends are out there. I can't talk, ladies and gentlemen. Honest, it's just laying down massive smoking wreckage. And everybody can't hardly breathe and talk and screaming. Lady, I'm sorry. Honestly, I can hardly breathe. I'm going to step inside while I cannot see it. Charlie, that's terrible. Listen, folks, I'm going to have to stop for a minute because I've lost the voice. This is the worst thing I've ever witnessed.
Well, you obviously didn't lose your voice. You just talked a pack of shit. You won't be winning any Oscars anytime soon. That was pathetic. That is not a human response when people apparently being incinerated Okay, so he's got managed to disjoint any feelings of empathy and turn it into sensualization. Is it? That is a natural thing to do, is it, for a human being? No, obviously not. So I think that is 100% bad acting. I think that is set up, guys, and it's convenient. All of these crews were there, and this is the only narrative we got for taking away the balloon. It goes on further than that. So for me, that satisfies me that this is a staged event. Okay, guys, that satisfies me that is set up, because that guy just gave the show away. But there are all of these anomalies as well. There is a stack of anomalies. So survivors of the Hindenburg disaster far outnumbered the victims. What? The fucking thing went up like a torch. It burst and exploded on the port wing. And then I don't even know. There's no tanks in the port wing. And yes, people were smoking and there could have been a hydrogen leak. But the smoking area was forward here. Okay. And it wouldn't have reached the spark or the gas here. And this is like a massive cathedral inside, guys. It's a gantry. If you think that the balloon causes the lift, the air in the balloon, no, it's not. There's airspace in the balloon. It's the tanks of hydrogen that are stored in the balloon that give it lift. I shit you not the whole thing itself. It's quite remarkable. Anyway, so basically, there's the newspaper reels. They give you all different accounts, okay? But it plunged into flames, and you may be amazed at the utter miracle that happened to know that 97 passengers and crew on board, 62 survived. So the whole thing went up in a 2,000-degree temperature. It didn't melt at all. And everybody, mostly everybody, just walked out of there. The disaster's 36 deaths included 13 passengers, 22 crewmen. You can find out the narratives for a couple of these, as they've really nailed them up and included children being like chucked through windows and stuff to make it all sound like a grisly horror film. But then that makes it less believable, because who would have been there to write the statement if they were in flames and everyone was dying? Makes no sense. Many survivors jumped out of the Zeppelin windows and ran away as fast as they could. Now, if you can imagine, I'll show you in some of these photographs, this thing tumbling from hundreds of feet. At some stage, it's nearly horizontal. All of the people will just fall down or just being tossed around. But no, apparently they were on gantries or something, I don't even know, inside, and all managed when the outer casing, which is a canvas, melted. Then they all just safely walked out. Really? Really? But it wasn't the most biggest airship disaster in history. There was one earlier, which they didn't tell us about. You would know nothing about it. But that really, really was the humanity. And that was in 1933. 73 men were killed. Only 3 survived. In a comparison, in an American, or actually 1930s crash of a British military airship, which claimed 48 lives. That's another one. So yeah, that one in New Jersey was really, really bad, but no coverage whatsoever of that. The Hindenburg disaster wasn't broadcast live on radio. When? It could have been. It could have been broadcast live on radio. Radio is the big thing of the 1930s. Come on, we've all seen, oh Father, where art thou? This is where it's at. But it's coming in. It's the biggest event. It's the biggest airship in history. It blows everyone's mind. Yeah, they didn't stream it live, and the fucking thing blows up. Okay. The Hindenburg had a smoker's lounge. There you are. So incredibly, it had 7 million cubic feet of highly combustible hydrogen gas, they say, and yet they still had a smoking room. No, that doesn't ring true as well. A specifically designed lightweight piano was made for the Hindenburg. Okay. And Hindenburg's first took flight on a Nazi propaganda mission, and they include a little narrative for Goebbels in there, which I don't buy, and I'll give you the reasons for that after this little bit. Dozens of letters carried aboard the Hindenburg with ultimately delivered. Okay. Bullshit. The whole thing was in They must think we're fucking stupid. The whole thing was in flames and you saved the letters, did you? Okay. And Goebbels wanted to name the Hindenburg Adolf Hitler. Well, they should have done that anyway. Hindenburg was a bit of a shit. And he didn't like Adolf Hitler, but they should have. I would have done that day one. Lasers, miniskirts, day one. And name all balloons Adolf Hitler. Okay. And Eeyore, donkeys. Eeyore. Anyway, so it goes up at the end here. And as I explained, hydrogen gas would have melted any of the substructure. It's just impossible for this to have happened if it was hydrogen the way they say it was. We'll look at these tanks in a minute. And that is the sort of heat that everybody just conveniently and apparently safely walks out from, which is nuts. And in some stages, so which does it happen in? Did it happen in the day or in the night? Because that looks like nighttime. And on my thumbnail and others that I will show you in a minute, okay, it's definitely daytime. And what about the German soldier there with the German helmet on and the other ones? That's not an American soldier, is he? He's got a Nazi helmet on, which the Americans didn't have in 1936. So what exactly is happening? Why are the Germans there on the ground? And this is a big Nazi balloon over America. Are you sure? Are you sure we're looking at like a history that we can trust? Are they just showing us pictures of Nazi America in the past? Look at the size of this. Just unbelievable. Here's the footage, the official footage. It's been colorized. It's pretty much what we just watched. And if they're coming in to New York, Nazi flags all over it. And they do the recoupling. And then they get all of these men necessary for mooring her off as well. The mooring ropes were put down, apparently. So she goes through that. No problem. Get the passengers off here. It's on a lovely little runway, look. There's the captain. He actually walks off. No problem whatsoever. He doesn't go down with the ship. Okay, there she is. Look at her. How beautiful is that? Just so beautiful. Serene, that's the word. To float. Never mind being forced on a plane. Planes are weird anyway, aren't they? They're a nice sensation flight, don't get me wrong. But so it goes from the fatal moment. So in the film, the movie, the Hindenburg movie, excuse me, there's a film, the movie, and they sort of painted that it's a German terrorist that's put a bomb in there. But this went up on the arse end. Then what I notice is, oh shit, wish I'd stop doing that, is the front ignites the same. So the back goes up first on the port wing. Then there's a bit of a rush up halfway up the balloon. And then the nose ignites. Just trying to work out in my head with heat dynamics how that would even work. Unless there's more than like one incendiary, which incendiary would do this. But something deeply exploded. And there it is. And there's people, I don't know whether you can see that. There's people stepping out of this burning flame. How is that impossible? The whole thing is in like white hot steel and the whole thing is in flame, yet they just calmly walk out, including the captain. And this thing was horizontal. They should have been all chucked around. I'm not getting it. I'm just really not getting it. Except that this is Hollywood's production and this is staged. That guy just talking just now said, I can't breathe, I can't talk no more. No, he could talk shit tons, and obviously they could breathe because there's a ton of people all around it. The newspapers, they can't get their shit together as per normal. A lot of Masonic numbers I noticed in this as well. So there it is. In the day, is this in the daylight or is this in the nighttime? Why is it in the daytime on the thumbnail? And why have I got other photographs when it's in the day and it's in the night here? Oh, all right then. It's just, I don't know. So this is the day after when they got that recording together to unroll, to roll it out to the world. And here we are, all of this time later, going on nearly 100 years later, and we're still going with the same fucking narrative, guys. So it's nearly horizontal. Wouldn't have all of those people just cascaded and fell down and crushed and stuff? Or were they just holding on to white, hot metal with their fingertips? How did they all step out? Am I missing something? So anyway, it's a 12 missing, 64. They got a different figure there. Completely destroyed in Lakehurst. Interesting name, Lakehurst. Hurst, as in, you know, what they take you in when you're dead. Explosion kills 33 and 64 escape flames. So when I seen that, I was like, what? The 33 and the 64? You can't even make this shit up. And, you know, after it's coupled and then the explosions happened on the arse end, how did it end up in that vertical thing you get in the other shot? And again, is it daytime or is it nighttime? I dig in that it may have been sunset, but the whole thing took seconds to come down. So 34 dead in this, 63 saved, as the blast destroys Zepp Hindenburg. And that is in the San Diego News, May the 7th, a day later in 1937. So later. Zeppelin blasts kills 35 in this one. Giant original blasting wreck. Again, there's like two sets of photographs for some reason. It's like what we're getting with the Statue of Liberty. The size on these hangars is unreal. We got some footage of an American balloon, one of the biggest ever built, flying over Chicago a little bit later for us to enjoy on our Chicago narrative. So 97 people. So I can't imagine it being too cost effective. How much would they have to pay to go across the Atlantic Ocean? So how many are in here? 35 killed in, yeah. All right. Well, they can't make their minds up, can they? The exact moment the Zeppelin blew up, right there. We've got some clearer shots. What's he doing with the flame in his hand? No, really, what's he doing with the flame in his hand? They must think we're born yesterday to really guess. I don't like my intelligence being insulted. Look at this, guys, right? There's all people standing underneath. None of them died. Hey, Nonny, no. Only a few people on the Zeppelin. All of those people, when none of them can breathe, according to that guy who couldn't shut up. And then it happens by here, the explosion, not even in the main fuselage, but something ripped through here. And then within seconds, it ignites here on the nose. Some blast, that is. Anyway, let's move on a little. So I've got showed these a little bit on a short that I did yesterday. This is the building of the Hindenburg. Okay. Massive undertaking. Fantastic. They should give us the same footage for the International Space Station. Would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Yeah. All that investment. So you need a ton of men because this thing weighs a ton and you got moorings and you got to hold it down. I can't imagine how men hold that down. There must be a lot of them. So there's the bridge. Captain managed to just step out of there calmly, not got his hair stringed or nothing. So they were quite luxurious. The wealthy Germans going for a holiday in the United States. I bet that would have been nice. And a little bit of a runway wheel there underneath the bridge. And you can see all of the viewing platforms underneath there. There would have also been like cabins, some radio equipment here. See the radio equipment? And all of those people underneath. So it's very, very nice inside. It's more Art Deco style, I would say, than anything old-fashioned. It's very new, but it's plush. But Art Deco, they all look like Bauhaus chairs, type of thing. So, and there she is underneath. It is a monster. And these are the mooring lines. Windows everywhere. There's pictures of people walking on the top. It's like an aircraft carrier on the top. So there is its hangar in Frankfurt. It's like them crazy big ones the NASA produced to do absolutely nothing with. So they got to put it into bed at night because I'm guessing if it gets windy, this thing's going to go crazy. And the same coupling system there as well for the moorings. It's not fueling it. It's just mooring. And then it goes to bed at night so it doesn't go completely nuts and fly around in gales and stuff. So you need these unbelievably big hangars. And the Zeppelins were used in World War I to drop a shit ton of explosives over Britain and the lawns of Europe, with some great success as well. So a lot of thoughts. I noticed they got the Olympic symbol on the side. And if you know the coding with the Olympic symbol, this one isn't complete. There seems to be a 0 missing. This was for obviously the Berlin Olympics. There's one missing. Okay, that's interesting. And there they are pulling it. You got everything's got to be done by hand. But I've seen the American versions. They use a biplane, or the motor of a biplane, to maneuver her because of her weight. Everyone comes to see it. So I have seen dirigibles and balloons, and they are really, really lovely. They're just so graceful, non-intrusive, not blasting your brain out with noise. Admittedly, they look like a big dick. I'll give you that. They do. Okay. But so do space rockets. But this is bullshit. Look at this. So it's daytime here. It's nighttime here in this one. Whole thing's over in seconds. There's people. Can you see them there? Running out. And there, and there. Can you see that, guys? Wow, they must be the luckiest people on earth. Look at that one with all the melted stuff. Wow. That was 60-odd lucky fuckers. And it's in this part, you know, it's nearly horizontal. Everyone would have just fallen down. I can't believe anybody survived that. Jesus. That's more likely what was happening. Some previous invasion by Zeppelins, and everyone was just, they rewrote the history and nobody even knows. Man in the high castle, for real. The size of this thing, though, when they were building it, guys. If you imagine being inside there when it was full, that's how big a person is. Yeah, they tell you they managed to step out of this when it was all in flames. There's the nose, which is the mooring nose. It's massive, isn't it? It's just incredible. The biggest airship ever produced of its time. And I think they were using airships for aerial bombardments way in the past. They kept out of the narrative. Cities like Chicago, 1871, Boston, even San Francisco. I think a balloon played a role in all of that, or balloons. Invasions of countries, they would have done it by balloon. Carry a shit ton of people in a balloon, hardly anyone in an aeroplane. Biggest we got is the Hercules transporter planes, and how many do they carry in the military? Not that many, 500 max. So these are the hydrogen tanks that give it the lift in here. And I thought the whole thing was full of hydrogen, but that would not, you know, that would be impossible to breathe and stuff and walk in here, wouldn't it? So, you know, all of these gantries, these walkways, and them tanks, like nuclear bombs, if they were real. So I was thinking about, like, I know I shouldn't connect my energy to beating on Professor Dave in my head, but I do. It's part of my mental illness. But, like, if I was on there, I think Zetic, I think Z should go on there, or maybe Nathan Oakley, and make him cry a bit, because he deserves it. I'd be thinking, like, you know, the retard test questions. Yeah, if you tick all of these boxes, you're a fucking retard. So first, do you think they landed on the moon? And he would say, yes, you tick that box, you fucking retard. And then you would ask, do you believe in evolution theory? And he'd be like, oh yeah. Okay, tick box 2, you fucking retard. Box 3, Professor. This could go on, though. Do you think the dinosaurs were real? And he'd be like, yeah. They got them in museums, because he doesn't check shit. That would tick all of the retard boxes on my test, and he would have to be bastardized and made to be aware of his epic levels of stupidity. Oh, look at that. They got a Christmas tree there. Wunderbar and fabelhaft. Got a lot of aluminium over the windows. They're just going in. There's that cockpit. So these are quite historical, I guess, because, you know, the thing doesn't exist anymore, and everyone knows about the Graf Zeppelin, don't they? Oh, right, there they are putting the Olympic things on, look. They missed one out. Well, that one's not there later. We're looking at 2 Zeppelins. Why build one when you can build 2? And look at the size inside, though. You have to put all of this canvas on the outside, which they didn't put any fire retardant material on, I've noticed. And that's inside the galleys inside. So all of that. They're really good at engineering, the Germans, aren't they? They're really good at shit. But they're very efficient, and they don't mess around. And they like it, Spartan, don't they? It's not like they haven't got like all little lamps and stuff. It's just sparse. Oh, they got a little thing on the wall there. It looks like a loads of dried vegetables or something stupid. Some Germans discussing what they're going to be doing in 2 years' time for Der Führer. And I bet that soup tasted lovely. I bet everything tasted lovely back then, guys, compared to now. I had, thanks to my mate Mel, who turned me on to cucumber sandwiches again that I haven't had since childhood. I had cheese and cucumber sandwiches with OT bread earlier. Oh my God, there's a taste of childhood for you guys. Unhampered by modern day bollocks. Yeah, it was like, close your eyes, smell that. I'm like a 10-year-old again. It was just wonderful. It's just not that many foods that you can eat. I'm big into soups, but I'm making my own. Look at them eyes. He's thinking, we are so fucked. Later on, they will be. They're the size of that, though, guys. So in this bit here, the explosion happened. There was no fuel tanks in there. Okay. Where are we going to put the bomb? There's a bomb on the balloon. Okay. Yeah, definitely missing an Olympic circle there. Because it was on there when he painted it just now, this one, yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Oh, it's there and then it's not. So that's how you get out of the bridge. You haven't got a door. You've got to get out with a ladder. Yeah, he managed to step out when it was all in flames. Wow, that guy's like God. He's a miracle. Captain, wonderful. God, the bridge looks amazing. So it's a good little film, actually. I think it's with George Siegel or George C. Scott. That's right. The Hindenburg film. Let's have a look. I haven't watched it in years, but I do remember it. I remember the actor that was the bomber. Ugh. So that's 2 balloons, isn't it? There's a Zeppelin and another big Zeppelin. Did they have 2? Anyway, they did have other series of Zeppelins prior to that, but that was the biggest. The Graf Zeppelin was the biggest Zeppelin ever produced, according to that. Nice big diesels. Nice big German diesels driving the turbines. Okay. So it's only 2 of, one on each side. I think they got after ones as well. So yeah, you can pull your car in there, take your car over to America to have a little run around. How they get them out, I don't even know. Maybe they can just drive out if it's in flames. Yeah. So there's a shit ton of stuff in there as well. These are the tanks that keep you afloat. Weirdly. And look at that mess outside there, all that mud and crap outside of that hangar in the middle of nowhere. And the big rails. God, it's very synonymous with the Apollo program, isn't it? No, it is. It's exactly like it. That was bullshit too. This seems to be bullshit as well. Look at the size of this, right? This is the hangar's windows. And then I'm guessing like the boss is like, you got to go and clean the windows on the hangar. And they're like, what? The big windows? Yes. Look at this. Start like Monday, finish Friday. That gives you something to do for the week. Cleaning windows. We've all been window cleaners in our time, haven't we? Well, I have. So I wonder if that was what was going on with a lot of these railway stations in the past, as they were originally balloon hangars and golden age of Tartarian ballooning, so to speak. So it's got a really detailed photographic collection of it being built, hasn't it? Isn't that convenient, though, guys? And the narrative for the whole of that. It's like they make all of this up as they're going along. No, it can't have been too racially motivated, because apart from, like, Hitler really loved the Americans going over to the Olympics, Jesse Owens smashing it on a track, all of that shit went down. Hitler was like, this is wicked. That was his exact words. But in German, eins so wicked, or whatever. Okay. But in 1937, coming up with the Second World War, Britain had their own version of this. We had Mosley, but they kept that in check. The British government, they locked up Mosley and got him out of the way so the Nazis didn't take off too much in Britain. But not so much the same in America land, I'm afraid. But you did have the Ku Klux Klan, didn't you? Okay. Well, this is like that, but without the weird sheets. Okay. And all of the people through the, in America, New York State, Ozzy Island, as, this may come as a shock to a lot of you, the Hitler Youth. But in America, they do the Hitler Youth. And it's like the Scouts, but it's the Hitler Youth. And it's in America. Yeah, I know. Here's the American version of Adolf Hitler. He wasn't he wasn't like Mosley. He wasn't very, he wasn't very good at it. Let's have a look at these Nazi stormtroopers. Oh, they don't look up to much, do they? He looks like he might have a bit of shame going on. He's got a German cross. He's got a German cross from the First World War, and he's an American. Okay. So here they all are. Betty, where are we going today? We're going to the Nazi meeting. We're going to the Goebbels Museum. And look at all of the good German girls all in line. No, they're Americans all in line. See the American flag and the Nazi flag. Are you absolutely sure that you were a Nazi country during World War II? You even got an Adolf Hitler Strasse. Like I said, they kept this in check in Britain, but they didn't have much choice. We were going to go to war with the Germans. But America, they didn't get in on it till like 1944. They did arm Russia, who interestingly invaded Poland in support of Germany in the beginning of the war. Oh, that's confusing, isn't it? It's almost as if you were sort of looking like you were supporting the Allied cause, but at the same time, supplying the axis of evil with large amounts of tanks and weapons. No, that's true. Anyway, so here they are in the Hitler Youth, loads of Leisenhausen and summer fun, I can imagine. And here's a little Hitler rally in another American state. Okay, with another Hitler auditor. We are going to be a great Nazi nation. You know what he said? He said, you know what he said, Stan? We're going to be a great Nazi nation, just like Adolf. Because that's where it was going to be going down. But they didn't tell you this in school, did they? Here's the Americans. Ozzy fucking Island. Even that guy, okay? Looks like he's got a little Hitler mustache going on there, look. Okay. Scarlett Johansson should have a little Hitler mustache. That would suit her. There you are. And they're all marching to go to no war, actually, yet. Oh, things changed. So this is in 1938. The war is actually getting on now. The first, it was called the phony war at the beginning of World War II, because basically it was all at sea. More merchant seamen died than any servicemen in the first years of the war. Like, no soldiers were getting killed. So here they are, a load of American Nazi hierarchy just prior to World War II. So there's Hitler with the American Nazis. Yeah, I know, it's weird, isn't it? He's got a German cross. So I'm not sure the history books are actually saying anything truthful. I think that, like, this sort of, there you are. So in New York City, okay, I can imagine them getting some sort of stick. I can't imagine the Nazi party saying, oh, they sell chop suey over there. That was invented in New York City. And there they are, the Nazis in New York City doing a march. And they're, waving the American flag. This is in, you know, like you had the Nuremberg rallies. You had them in America too. This is in Madison Square Gardens in New York. Yeah, they had massive Nazi rallies in Madison Square Gardens. Oh, look, there's a famous Nazi there, a British one, first one to be president, but he wasn't really, was he? Washington. Nice big speakers up there. Bet they're loud. So, yeah, a shit ton of people in there in Madison Square Gardens. They're not going to go and watch Guns N' Roses. They're going to go and watch a load of Nazi stuff. Whatever that is. Here they are, Madison Square Gardens, New York coppers and Nazis. And everybody, Sieg fucking Island. As you do. There he is. He looks a bit of a shit, this guy, as well. But they all do. Anybody who's like in a hierarchy and trying to boss people around. See, they're just fuckos. Find a word on it. Okay. So I didn't see any riots kicking out. Okay. But they got some opposition to the Nazis. Stop the fascists. So this is the other side of the divide. And then there's a long line of mounted police to stop any big riot happening. So, but they did have a big following, obviously, because they gave them Madison Square Gardens no problem for a rally, which I find really weird. Like, there was somebody tried to bum rush the stage, and they jumped on him and gave him a good fucking kicking in front of everybody. So is the way of Nazis. And outside, there was a little bit of fusty cuffs. He's grabbing the American flag off him there. And I was on 8th Avenue. So it caused a lot of shit and division, as you'd expect. And they got some nice decor in this American place. A nice big swastika on the ceiling. It's confusing, old state of affairs, isn't it? I'm guessing a lot of you actually didn't know that. Well, now you do. This is interesting. Okay, a whole new subject. I know. Yeah, The Man in the High Castle. So clever, that series. Yeah, I think they might be telling us bits of truth in that, you know. Much love, Brian Staveley, my brother. Good to see you, my friend. And I'll come and give you all shouts in a minute. Now, the Metal Palace, this is fantastic. I don't know whether you've seen this place before. This could be thought of as a Mandela effect. I'm telling you, no, this is a nutty one. So this is called the Mineral Palace. Okay, and you can see this is in 1893 there. And I'm sure you see the Phoenician lady, who is Liberty. She's got one of those mirror things going on. She's in a boat. It's the whole Phoenician narrative. That statue was massive. And it also got taken from this palace and taken to the Chicago Exposition later on to be exhibited. So it opens on July 4th, 1891, did this palace. And it's mind-blowing, actually, because it is a real palace. It's in Pueblo, Colorado, USA. And what it does is it exhibits the mineral wealth of Colorado. This palace was thought of as being the 8th wonder of the world. More gems and precious metals were exhibited here than anywhere else on Earth. A palace in Pueblo, Colorado, to that level. Okay, so it didn't stand for very long, 53 years. It was demolished and vanished from human history by 1943. Big questions for this one. Look at this. So I thought that said King Creole over there, but it's King Cole. And you can see the size of these giant statues compared to the woman. And that is the stage inside this palace. There's the palace outside. Found it weird that it was just in the middle of seemingly nowhere yet. Globe on each corner holding it up. And it is the 8th wonder of the world, they're calling it. And it has more gems and precious metals in this building than any other building on Earth, including like the Louvre. Yeah, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Weird. And this is inside the Metal Palace, as they referred it to us, the Metal Palace. And I'm guessing that's the main hall for dining, etc. And there is Aspen, Colorado. Okay, that's pretty high up, Aspen, isn't it? And the Phoenician boat with the old Liberty thing going on. Eagle, wings open, you know the coding. And they moved her later, the Silver Queen, to, as I said, the Chicago expositions, because she was quite famous. This statue got quite famous. Interest in the dropping of the coins with the Charabanowskis. And there it is later on with all the people there. Never seen a building held up by globes before in my life at all. Really weird. Right, excuse me. Now, we have so much more to share. It is hardly believable. What we're going to look into now, right, because this is my channel and it pleases me endlessly, we're going to look into Edwardian people, females, because they're better to look at. And the narrative is this: why don't we know anything about the Edwardian era when it was so recently? I mean, in my childhood, there were people that were Edwardians and even Victorians in my childhood. And what's more is, why or how did they take a quantum leap in clothes from, say, 1915 to 1960? I mean, they go from all the clothes in the world, all of the layers, I mean, of material, but the highest quality, to hardly wearing anything at all, really. So this is colorized, and it is 1900 from a Russian website of Edwardian dress sense. That looks 10 types of stupid. Do you want me to explain the obvious nose with that gown just then? Well, it's mud everywhere, isn't there? And you could trip over it as well. So what were these pull you in? Is that something, a dietary thing, or to give you an hourglass figure? I can't imagine it being very healthy. So that's what they're wearing, under 10 tons of clothes. Okay, let's have a look at some Edwardian chicks and see what we think. Firstly, are they? I think some are beautiful. These have been colorized, but they are Edwardian. And the attention to detail, they must spend about 500 years. Now, what is this? Apparently, this bump on the back was apparently sexy. It's just like, what the fuck? If you all right? Is everything all right down there? So, obviously, they've been colorized. Interest in the pearl necklace. We have covered that and the meaning of the pearl necklace. If she got makeup on, no, nobody has makeup on, and they don't pluck their eyebrows either. There's not too much on the piercings. I don't usually see, but she's got piercings. You won't see a tattoo. Further back, yeah, you won't see him in any of this era. So it doesn't fit with the era that you're living in of cows, horses, carts, and muddy roads that all the women are dressing in, like what must be a ton of clothing to drag around. And there's a frame under that which could ignite. And underneath that, there's other stuff. And underneath that is other stuff. I mean, it must be exhausting for these women to be taking all that stuff off. More exhausting for their husbands. Fake fur, I hope. So I think that might be a fox fur to match her ginger hair. I bet the colorizer's just guessing that she's ginger. I don't think she might not be. Okay. She's not in this. So I'm not feeling that they are blokes in this. Green feathers. Since when do you get green feathers? Okay, let's have a look at her. She looks like she got a bit of makeup on. She looks a bit moody, doesn't she? She's got that moody woman thing going on. Okay. And a 10 ton of clothes. Why? Why are they wearing 10 ton of clothes? It's not because of the temperature. Everything, how do they manage in the summer, for a start off? And like, I have to get up at 6:30. Why is that? To put my dress on, ready for breakfast. What time is breakfast? Oh, it's at 9. What, it takes you 3 hours? Yes, it takes me 3 hours, 2 handmaidens, and my bath, of course, because we have to fill it up, because we haven't got running hot water. And I have to go down to the end of the garden with my frock to go and have a poo in the morning. And I have to lift all of this caper up. Well, let's not go into that. But you can obviously see what I'm saying is How the fuck did these women go to the toilet? Oh, God. Go to the toilet with all of this stuff on. Imagine just having to pop all of that up for a quick pee. All of this, caper. So it's all very fine. It's not very sexy, is it? It's a bit like, what the fuck is it all for? It's like, you know. Oh, God. Right, so I've got a wedding photograph here. Okay, I thought... No, Michael, that is a woman. I know somebody... No, she's nice. She's beautiful. She is. What? Look at that. Edwardian chick there. She's fluffy, isn't she? Yeah? What? She's so pretty. And she's got... Is that gold? That is chunky gold. Whoa. Are they diamonds, do you think? Or costume jewelry? She hasn't got much money by the looks of her. Just, yeah, use some clothes. Put them on. Look nice for the photograph. Oh, how'd you keep a dog still? Well, you don't. She's in black in a horsey costume. Again, how'd you get on a horse for that? And they only went side saddle because it wasn't becoming for a woman to split her legs and jump over a horse. It's like, what? It's weird, isn't it? It's improper for male visualization, I guess, and something along those lines. I don't even know. The world's fucking nuts. So there's some Edwardian chicks looking a bit Russian, that one, and not makeup really. Let's have a look what they do when they go to the seaside, where they wear all the clothes in the world. Is what they do. Okay. Might be a bit windy, but I think it's a hot day. Oh, these two are getting down to getting some suntan on their arms. She's probably brushing some nits out of her hair. It's difficult to say. Let's have a look. Oh, that's something you don't often see. A bare ankle on the beach. Mostly because they got like shit tons of clothes on. Oh, and if you're wet, you get a bare bump. I noticed they're like, it's a bit saucy. I don't think she's actually wearing any underwear there, guys. I know. I'm glad I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. Just in case you missed it. And it gets a bit breezy down on the beach, so you got to keep all of this headgear on and these scarves to hold them on, because they're a real necessity to wear a shit ton of clothes, a big thick coat, because it's windy down on the beach. So we'll wear our hat and it'll definitely blow off. We spend all our time inconvenienced and holding our hats on. Probably be better not to wear the hat. And then when you go in the sea, make sure no one sets eyes on you, because you get your clothes wet. We can see through sea. And then run up them steps into your little hideaway shed to get changed back into your civilian clothes. I don't think they actually do swimming. I think they just dip their toes. But you're never going to see anyone like, you know, in bikinis. Let's just say that. They take a quantum leap in the next 30 years. You know, who brings in these changes and all of these fashions? It's all part of the book. I doubt whether any of this is new. I keep thinking like, you know, I remember Al Bellick saying that he went to a time in the future. And he said, apart from the weird, fascinating technologies, everybody was from the 1950s. They were dressed in 50s clothes. They had 50s music on. The Teddy Boys were back, and he said they had 50s cars, but it was way in the future. And it occurred to me, and I thought, yeah, they just keep, you know, rolling out these decades, these eras, over and over again. I'm sure a lot of people don't even know what they're doing with these dress senses. It's in vogue at the time, and it's what, you know, the high street. Who tells the high street what's in vogue? Well, a load of darlings and faggoty sorts of the establishment that are all in on it, as you know, introducing this, like Vivienne Westwood or I don't know, Mary Quant with the miniskirts, all part of a psyop, isn't it? It's no mystery that like the pill arrives in 1960. So, oh right, you mean I can have sex and not get pregnant? Yeah, and not only that, we're going to give you the shortest skirt you can ever imagine, so your knickers are showing all day long. Really? Oh, the pill. And like actually hardly wearing anything out in the street. That sounds fantastic. And that's the way it went in the 1960s. It all got a bit weird then by the 80s, because basically, I think the maid might be a bit of a fella. Okay. So, no touching up the maid in that house. Not that you would. Let's have a look. She's scrubbing the stairs. Oh, they got nice tiles on the floors. You look a bit impoverished. Don't look too happy there, mate. What's going on? Want to make me dress like a girl and scrub the stairs, innit? Oh, well, you know, you got to live, mate. You got to live. I know, but actually, it might be a girl. Got little feet. Oh, and maybe I shouldn't be so unkind anyway. These are probably wonderful people. Anyway, that looks pretty. And very nice big ditch. Okay, she looks like she's going to fill you in. She got a bit of an attitude, this one, guys. You can see that. Oh, a little dog there. A little Edwardian dog, been dead 100 years. I wonder what they talk about. Probably suffragette business. Conspiring against us. Yeah. It's the same dog, isn't it? He's eating shit in the street. She turns out well. She looks a bit all right today. There's a little bit later. It looks like they're not wearing that much more clothes at this part of the Edwardian period. Still crazy on the hats, though. Somebody told her it looked nice when it looked like a bag of shit. There you are again. It's a good insight. I love time traveling, seeing different people from different times. Look at these railings, though. All of that effort for just this bit here. And I'd be like mudflooded down there. But all of that railings in front of all these buildings. Nothing like that in modern day. See? Every building. All of these railings. And that just goes right down. There's a window there because it's a mudflooder. Okay, these look happy. Ah, they look happy. Happy Edwardians. But what's going on with the clothes? I don't know. Makes no sense to me. It's like the film The Time Machine. Have you ever seen the film Time Machine when he's sat in and you can see a shop window, and as he's going through the decades, you can see the skirts just going do 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 do. Okay, then. Now we're going to have a little bit of a chuckle to break up the show. I'm going to come back and give you all a few shouts. Would massively appreciate you sharing this show out. The 730 odd of you watching, absolutely fantastic, and hope you're all right. All hail Geo Shifter. Now, I like beaver, but this is no. But I'm not sure if they'd be all right as pets, if it's not a bit cruel. But if you have got one as a pet, like this chick on here, he just instinctively needs to build a dam. No, there's nothing cuter than this. There's nothing cuter than this beaver. So we're going to have a cute minute, a second. Right, he's got to build a den because he's not in the woods. Have a look at him. Have a look at that beaver. I'm not just doing this so I can keep making beaver jokes, okay, if that's what you're thinking. If that was the case, I'd have put a whole 3-hour video around the subject of beavers. Ah! Right, that don't go on there. He's thinking, a Christmas tree. I actually want to cry because it's pitiful. It's like you're not going to stop any water, and all you're doing is going through the motion. It won't stay on. No, it won't stay on. It's a fucking cuddly toy. Oh, what are they going to put me through? Now I'm actually feel sorry. I love him. I love this beaver. So, like, I'm not sold whether or not it's a good thing at all to be having a beaver as a pet and then making dams in the house. Although it's cute as fuck. Don't get me wrong. I think it's rather cruel. Right then, we did this last week and I enjoyed it so much. I'm going to give you a little burst of what it was like to grow up in Britain, okay, in the 1970s or 60s. We had, see this cricket bat? I was playing cricket once and I was backstop and the kid swung his full-size cricket bat around and smacked me straight accidentally in the cheek and my ear. And I think it bust my eardrum, but I was really, really bad. So what we would have is we would have a game of British and Germans. Okay, so it's and you could hear this echoing through the terraces and the streets, all the sounds of the machine gun fire and Stukas. Yeah, I was good at Stukas. So this is the British Council estate, which is basically a shithole, but we're all happy. Okay, and in the old days, we could all trust one another, unlike the modern day, where you can't trust any fucking body at all. And then we used to have this. Okay, now I had the best cowboy guns and cowboy holster you could ever imagine. Yeah, I tell you, it was made of kid leather and had an ivory handles on the guns and golden bullets, guys. Yeah, I went to sleep with them on. My mother had to wait for me to go to sleep to get these guns and holsters off of me because I actually thought that I was a cowboy in my childhood. I'm a cowboy hat on and my guns ready for the next day going into battle. I would work up my strategy of how everyone was going to be killed the next day, laying in my bed as a little kid. Normal boy stuff. So this is the typical British scene. They should have the thumbs on the side though. Oh, she's flat thumbing me. Oh, that's lovely. So that's Britain I love. And yeah, let's get her. So do you know when you're having these on-street battles, yeah, which you are, and they can get really serious. You got that because of the bricks coming, bow and arrows an essential. That lady could get killed in the crossfire, just like in the Battle of Stalingrad or in Berlin. Yeah. If she drops and goes down, that's just the way it is, collateral damage. Don't even worry about it. We had a railway train in a parking spot in Cardiff when I was a kid called Jessie, and you could climb all over it. It was a fucking death trap. I mean, you had a boiler door you could literally open yourself and close. If anyone ever caught their fingers in it, they would have been crushed. It was a ton door, and they literally let you play with it. It'd come from the old steelworks. They took it away then later. But Jessie the train was a big part of my life. I loved playing on Jessie the train. Big part of my life. Look at them two. He's looking after his little bro there. He loves him. And look how lovely. See, this world's gone. He's got like fighter pilot goggles on his head. This world's gone. This beautiful, lovely, innocent world is gone. Yeah, it's all. Our summers used to be like the movie Stand By Me. Now for kids, their summers are like, you know, fucking I need another rock. That's what their summers are. Because everyone's like on drugs and fucked up on drink or believe in weird stuff on the television and not getting out in the woods and getting dirty and being real. Britain has got a really brilliant side to it. Like other countries just ain't got. You know, brick fights, as I mentioned before. I don't know what city that is. It looks like Manchester or something. But there's a lot of waste ground in the cities. And after the war, shit tons of buildings all still blown up when I was little. Down the docks, there was a lot of rubble from the war. And then you'd have a thing called Religo or, as I said before, British Bulldogs. So it's basically big, massive battles of many people. I've seen like 100 a side. Yeah, this was when we were really little until, you know, we managed to go to the like seaside resorts on a bank holiday Monday fighting mods when we got older, which is what happened. Go off to Weston-super-Mare and have massive, massive battles, which were fantastic, by the way. So it's a time that I miss, and it makes me sad to see it because it was so lovely. My childhood was just brilliant. And it was this. It was all the gang, all my mates, climbing on everything, wrecking everything, having a fan-fucking-tastic time, not worrying too much. Our holidays, down the caravan, down Treco Bay. God, it was shit. I literally used to go on holiday for a week and I never go to the toilet for a week because the public toilets there were literally overflowing with human excrement and I wasn't going to put myself through that. Plus, unless I'm home, I'm not really a go to toilet outside my home type person. I got to be home. So, yeah, we had loads of nasty caravans, big fights. The women in my family loved to fuck one another up drunk over men. SS-20. I'm not even joking. No. It was one I remember one year. So, yeah, we used to have caravan holidays. Piss poor, guys, really. They used to have the big, massive clubs with about 2,000 people inside getting drunk. And then Sham 69 had come on the jukebox and yummy mummy, washing the windows. That's nice. Ugh. Oh, I'm going to have a set and rinse. So this is something else they didn't really have. I wonder if they had hairdressers back in the Edwardian era. I don't think so. So what is it? £1.15 for a steam cold wave. I don't actually know women's terms and stuff, but she's thinking about having her hair done. What I noticed with women is they look really lovely when they're all natural, and then they go in and have like, oh, I'm gonna have my hair done in the hairdressers. They come out and you're like, yeah, it looks lovely. When you're really thinking, fuck me, they mutilated you. Yeah, when you're going back for the rest done. Look at this dirty old pervert. You're on Carnaby Street. See, if that wouldn't even be allowed in the modern era, would it? Hello, ladies. I think I'll just talk to you. I'm a 63-year-old man. It's completely normal of me to talk to you. How old are you? 17? Oh, well, I think I'll just talk to you then. I don't think that's done in this day and age. Could be their father. Oh, this was normal behaviour back in the day. Hanging your mate on the clothesline. I caught Peter Thomas, this kid, putting his dog on the fucking clothesline with pegs, yeah? But then I set out on a mission from God to make his life an utter misery and make him go insane by the time he grew up, which I did. So, yeah, that's his own fault. It's called don't be cruel to animals in front of Martinism, is what it's called. Makes perfect sense to me. And if I ever do go any psycho, like, you know, because I have to definitely got like, I don't know, schizophrenic tendencies. It's because of evil people. So I went for a job as a Dalek once years ago. Videos been made about me saying he's an actor. He went for a job as a Dalek, but I did because they make Doctor Who here in Cardiff, and they're making a new series soon, and they're looking for Daleks. But I won't do it because I couldn't be all day around normies, having to listen to all their bullshit all day, and just having to be near them soulless fucks. I couldn't do it. Okay, this is weird. We've been doing a bit of trans investigation on Flat Earth British and other channels just lately. These are 1900 Estonian. Yeah, I know. I'm ashamed to say, yeah, that my father was an Estonian. Okay, so I got Estonian blood in me. Estonian students. So what they do, okay, so I can't say they're getting up to any homosexual activity, but dressed like chicks, I'm guessing they may be. Here they are. Okay. Blokes. And they're not only like dressing in dresses, they're doing all of the chicky face going on, aren't they? So it's not new, this agenda what they're doing now. And that Madonna, she's gone completely fucking nuts. Why won't somebody tell her? Please, somebody tell her to stop. Will one of her friends say, I know your name is Mad Honor, yeah, but you got to stop it with the weird shit and you look really ugly. And what's with all of the like weird stuff that you keep wearing, yeah, and all of this kinky stuff? It's like you're an old lady and it's actually getting to be embarrassing for everybody now and awkward as well. She's fucking disgusting. Somebody needs to stop her and tell her she's going to go on tour. So there he was when he was a boy. He got his mother put him into school. Next thing you know, yeah, he's Philomena. Okay. Johannes became... Johannes, you're not a bad-looking chick. Didn't mean that. Okay. This one, he's not faring so well as a chick. Is he? Okay, that's when his parents sent him to school. This was a short time later. Oh, dear. Okay. So that was him there, and that is him there looking like Helena Bonham Carter. So then photographs that I have been showing, yeah, a lot of them probably women. You can't tell them apart. Look at that. And that's him. So were there any women? Or are we just lab rats? Ants? Like the giant ants? So, I'm a lady. Handbags at dawn. I'm a lady. I'm just going to put my dress on to fix my Volkswagen Beetle. Ugh. Fucking hell. That is nasty. It's nasty. See, that's fighting talk, isn't it? Put that dress on. Do you want to get fucked up? But yeah, in university, it's like, oh God Almighty. Okay, let's have a look. Boys dressed in Estonian national female costume. So yeah, moral of the story is if you time travel, don't go back to an Estonian university around the turn of the century. Or going to make you dress as a chick. Don't laugh, myself. It's all done in the best possible taste. Manage in skirtage from Lee, flatearthbritish. Campbell's also in the house. Oh my. Brave New World's already Apple. Do you know it, Hololegs? Right then, these are interesting. Bangkok 1891. These are mad, these are, guys. You'll see now. Mind blowing. Wait till we get the last image. Holy fuck. So what we're looking at, obviously, I'm sure you get it by now, is power stations. These bells, upside down bells, resonators. Look at that. There's an aerial on that one. An aerial on that one. Which I've never seen before. On that one, and that one. But you can see this close up. Technology. In 1800s, in Bangkok. So I think all of these stupas were still active, as we've seen on some evidence, you know, live antiquitech on in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. And that looks a bit of a messed up bit of the classical world in Bangkok. The Chinese capital, massive city now, but it wasn't that big in the past. It doesn't look, but there's a lot of this old-fashioned antiquitech going on. That looks a bit wrecked. That looks wrecked too. But no high rises. So check this out. They bring in one of these juggernauts through the town. Pulled by the horses, yeah. So it's a religious stupa outside of one of their temples, which is a power station. And there's a big, massive one here. The antiquitech. That even looks like the active one we've seen in Phnom Penh in Cambodia. If you don't know what I'm talking about, found by Lee, who's in chat right now, years ago, sparking building, showing the antiquitech was still very much active. So they're still doing the boat life there in Thailand. But at this time, it is Siam. And I'm guessing you've all seen The King and I with Yul Brynner and Deborah Kerr. Showing you the story of the British Raj and the monarchy of Siam. Looks like there's an aerial on top of that there. Get to this end photo. Look at that, though, guys. Look at that. Is mint. And just killer on the antiquitech. It's just absolutely crazy on the antiquitech there. You know, this is not ornamentation. You know, it's perfect symmetry in this device. Look at that one. Oh, wow. And all of these pointy bits sticking up into the ether. They just like, can you imagine like, how can I put it? Flicking a bimetallic strip and it goes bang and resonates. Well, that's what these thin things do. They twang in the wind and they resonate when they're catching the wind, catching the charge. And subtle energies. Wow. That is amazing, whatever it is. Difficult to say. In a temple, and that's a whole load of chandeliers, which is a technology because it's made of crystal. It has to be. I think they were self-illuminating in the past. I don't think they even needed to be connected to electricity. And a load of Buddhist remnants and a giant Buddha, but you don't need to see its legs, golden Buddha there on top of a plinth. And I had to look twice at this. I was like, oh my God, it looks like he's cooking human arms. And he is cooking what looks like human arms. Am I wrong? I'm afraid I don't know the narrative. We're looking at Thailand, Siam, and he's cooking human arms. So I'm guessing there's more than one person there because there looks to be fingers there. Maybe I'm wrong. That's a right hand and that's a left hand. That's one person. It might be a cremation. Let's not jump to conclusions that he's getting a munch on. Crazy photo, innit, guys? I had a shock when I seen that. I was like, holy fuck. Okay, we've seen them. Now we're moving on. So we've got loads and loads and loads more to show you. I'm going to come back. And I'm going to give you a rundown on what we got in store for you in the show tonight. So we got 817 of you watching. Fantasticus. Good to see you all. Peace and love to you all. Hope everyone's having a spiffing week, because that's what we want. Let's give you a few shouts. I'm going to get stuck back in. Next, we're going to be looking into Chicago. And I got some ace moving colorized images of a balloon ride over Chicago, okay, at the start of the 1900s, which is crazy to think of this city as being so massive and skyscrapery in what is the Victorian era. Followed by some movie footage, and we're going to look at some comedy and images of the week, and we're going to have a little look at the Great Unwashed and some rare personal accounts of Woodstock. We're going to look at that a bit later on. If Bear's in the house, we're going to look at some pictures he sent in of Romanian mudflooders. And we're also going to look into Antiquidad and Mort Cages and wonder why in the Victorian era, supposedly, they were putting cages and metal around the dead, saying that they wanted to keep them in case they left being vampires, werewolves, or anything like that. Like that's a thing, apparently 100 years ago. There's more going on with Mort Cages. I think it's something to do with the soul, and I will get to that when we get there. So much love, London man. Good to see you, my friend. Jolly man. Somewhere in time's in the house. Hiya, Angel. Shade that. I got a window come up. It's blocked my chat. There it is. Mickey's in the house. Psycho Dave, my brother. So I was watching. I went on The Han. Dave turned me on to The Han like a week ago. Since then, Campbell's been on there, I've seen, and he's got David Weiss going on there. And this week, he's posted, I don't know whether he's faked it or it's real or whatever, it's Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan Experience giving Dan Han a shout, saying, go and sub to Dan Han. I was like, that's weird. I was only on the show last week. And I hear like he's gone a bit nutty on Tartaria and that. That wouldn't surprise me at all. That wouldn't. So I'm thinking that, you know, if they go into Tartaria and mudflood alternative histories, there's only a few places that they wash up, isn't there? I'm thinking that's what's going on. So, Tartaria, Hedimans in house. Howdy, my brother. Rose, Morley. Right, let's have a drink. What are you talking for? Well, that time flies. Listen, we got a lot more to get through, guys. So buckle in. Dave, my brother. Mac Twan's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. All right, Jolly Man's in the house and Missy's in the house. Okay, we got a lot more to go. Yeah, Missy. Yeah, I definitely am convinced, and I have no doubts, really. There's more to it as well on the anomalies for that narrative for the Hindenburg. No, I think that that media guy, I think he gave it away. I really do think he gave it away. That was piss poor acting. You would, if you was witnessing something like that, of that level of tragedy, you wouldn't be like that. That's just nuts. Yeah, sensationalism. Oh, yeah, well, I'll just milk it while I'm here. I'm not buying that. Stacey, good to see you. Patty G. Taffy's in the house, good to see you. Pablo Sheep, Eddie, Rose. Tub Alchemy, much love to you. Hugh, and Noel C. And Stacey in Massachusetts and lovely India. Dallas Fowler. Nora. Hello. Hiya. That's the opposite of hello. So hell is low, and I'm saying hi, yeah. There you are. There's Romany Bear. Yeah, we got pictures you took for me. Thank you for taking the time, Bear, for them smashing mudflood shots of Romania, which looks at a fantastic place, by the way. Samson, good to see you. Bob Sykes, my brother. Faticus Maticus is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Esley and Hippie Shake, who is the master of the moderation. Her wrench is so big and so blue, it blinds all around it. Hollow legs or logs, good to see you. Mo Sampson's in the house, my brother, good to see you. Helen. Haven't seen David Weiss on YouTube lately. No, not me, really. And Globebusters haven't been on for ages as well. they've sort of taken it to Jeronism's channel, but he insists you subscribe to talk in his chat feed. And I'm like, well, you'll sub to me. I can't be bothered. So I'm not doing that. And I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't force you lot to subscribe, to force to watch. You know, you can fucking sub or not. If you want to come back and see how this is going, where this is going, fucking great, subscribe. But I'm not going to be like, I wouldn't do that. That's just fucking blackmail. But they're making it happen YouTube, aren't they? It's part of their fucking, they're not nice. Not a nice thing. But it's a, you know, ends to a means. It's a tool, isn't it? They're a tool. Mactron. Ryan is in the house, indoctrinated. Good to see you. And Monsieur Bowens. Good to see you. Hand pink waving. Good to see you, my friend. Bad Goy Ant. Truth Tomant. And Eddie and Beth. Okay, let's get back into the juice. Kung Fatty. I'll give you all massive shouts and come back. I don't know what's happening in chat. I hope you're all having a good time. We got some good films and stuff to show you along the way. Lots of comedy. It won't be too rude. Trinity. Yeah, it might be. Dylan Salon. But it's all in the best possible taste and it's done with love and good intent. So basically, and I had my give a fuck gland surgically removed as well. So, and it's my channel. So I can show what I want. Bringing the juice. Big Kush. I had someone telling me off in comments saying, this isn't to do with flat earth or mudflood. What the fuck do you think you're doing? I'm like, that's weird. How you actually think that you're my channel and that I have to do what you want me to do instead of what I want to do with my channel. It's really weird. So I'll get all possessive. Think you have to do what they want you to do. That's a lot of people out there like that. Valerie. A lot of people think that everybody's just in their universe and everybody's just there just for them. There's a name of that sort of scenario. I call it being a selfish fucker. Gillian. Oh, Mary, I thought of you the other night. How have you been, Mary? I haven't seen you. I wondered where you are. I thought I haven't seen Mary in a month of Sundays. Hope she's all right. Think. Good to see you, lovely. I'm glad to see you. My homie. Martin, good to see my bruv. All right, troops, flat thumbs. Okay, let's get the obligatory double flat thumbs to infinity thrice in there while I can. J Craft. And let's get back into the juice. Because as I said, there's a lot to go still. Okay. But it will soon go. Okay, the time soon goes when you're on Flat Earth British. And 3 hours is like click of a finger. Yeah. Okay, guys, it's a miracle. It's weird. Okay, we're going to have a look into Chicago. Now, we have been here like San Francisco and all of the other mudflood cities, American cities, a dozen times. But I've got some new photographs. So this is Chicago, okay, in 1871. Seemingly a big proportion of the center of Chicago has been burnt to the ground and is gone. Like San Francisco and all the other cities in America, it is gone. It is burnt to cinders. Yet, a little while later, so 1871 is all in cinders, and then you get to here, and then you got the courthouse, which is a massive Phoenician structure that probably a direct hit of, if a nuclear bomb was a real thing, wouldn't even damage. I don't think it'd even chip it. It's got flood prevention, so the water can rise up to you and you'll still be able to gain access. So it's future reset-proof, reset thinking. They took this down. It took them, I think it was 30,000, some stupid amount of money and a massive, massive expenditure and effort to try and take this building down. Why would they take it down if they couldn't even move it? And how did it even get there? When all the city is being destroyed twice previous, because it got, burnt out previous to 1871, this period as well. Find that weird? Oh, well, they just must have just knocked it all up in no time at all. And here's the banks of the lake, opposite Douglas Park. And Board of Trade building, which looks exactly like the building in Philadelphia. No different, actually. But look at the size of these doors here. Oh, I just broke a dream. I had a mudflood dream last night. I remember telling someone, and look at that street, and all of these doors were massive in the street in my dream last night. I just broke it now, thinking that. So yeah, the World's Fair globe in Washington Park. So they stick a big globe made out of flowers, weirdly, in a park. And this is obviously way before like the 1969 Apollo shot of Earth. Apparently the first to tell you that you're living on a globe in reality. But it doesn't matter because RKO movie productions and Universal Cinema and the flowery thing here, they all know what the Earth looks like even before they've got up there, weirdly. Auditorium is massive. Concrete Street, Michigan, and Wabash Avenues. Oh my God. Look at the size of it. And these are disproportionate hoop doors. So, this is half the size. This building goes way deep. Again, top heavy, disproportionate. That building's a mud flood there. Excuse me. And a Grant monument for Ulysses S. Grant. They built a little castle for him out of massive stones. Talking of massive stones, so the city gets destroyed, and then they're building buildings back. What with them? What's this Asian fucking Belbeck, guys? With them. Can you see the size on this? There's no joint behind him. I looked up. There's no joint behind him. This is one stone behind him is this big. Okay? How? How are they bringing that stone on horse and cat? How are they building all of this when the city's been destroyed and bringing it all in on horse and cat? The size of that stone. And these buildings are just insanely big. There's the courthouse again. Like I said, they tore it down for no good reason whatsoever. That's nice. I noticed these exact windows, the four angels, get replicated all over the place. They're in San Francisco. Douglas Park again. Beautiful view this is. I love this photograph. It's just nice grass outside onto the lake. No mess, no nothing. And yeah, poof. Massive skyscrapers coming into the story. And then the Chicago Exposition, as you know, no longer there. What happened to it? Oh, fucking destroyed. And the Fun Fair had a fire and got completely wiped off the face of the earth. Yes, it keeps getting destroyed. It's back again with the most insane buildings you can ever imagine. And you can see the Chicago Exposition in a movie. I can't remember the name of that. There is a movie about the World's Fair, an old musical. That is a really good film. There's another film. It happened at the World's Fair with Elvis Presley, made in 1969, I think it was, with Kurt Russell as a kid. And it's all in the 1962 World's Fair with Elvis Presley. I think Anne Margaret's in it. But yeah, there's a lot of films with the World's Fair and expositions in. But look at the Phoenician theme again. Mermaids, the Phoenician ship. War of the Worlds. Wow, War of the Worlds. Is this based on H.G. Wells's Alien Invasion? Is that a balloon? It is. It's the nose of a balloon with eagle's wings. Oh, fuck, that is interesting. That is interesting. Oh. And all of this mud on top of the building as well. Why would you do that? But this is the narrative for, like, I don't know, well, Mars invading. Because when H.G. Wells did this back in the 50s, people literally killed themselves. This is a lot earlier. So they had War of the Worlds. This is the part of the big wheel that was in Chicago, what was left. Because, as I said, the fun fair got, like, incinerated. The size of these buildings, the population. We had giants walking around. I'll show you a bit of video in a minute. That is hopefully not, again, AI, but it shows you just giant people walking around us at this period and all of this, you know, and free energy stuff going on. It's just sickens me to think, you know, where we're at now with humanity. where we were. You know, we had tartaria, now we got retardia. People are really, really selfish and annoying and gullible, and they're not really in it for like everybody else, are they? It's like, you know, they're not community, family-minded people. They're more me. I don't dig that. I like people. I like all different people, all living together, all happy is what makes me happy. Nothing makes me happier than seeing different people from different places, all living happily alongside together. Nothing makes me happier than that. That is where I want the world to be. All people, all living together. No borders or religions or any of that bullshit going down. Look at the size of this castle in Chicago, guys. And there's that big wheel. Again, and size of these railway carriages, absolutely massive. There's one there now, but it's like 10% of the size of this one in the modern day, because everything's scaled down now, isn't it, for the modern day? But yeah, so Chicago is a mind-blowing city. I'm just going to show you some cracking film, colorized. So this dirigible here, I noticed they got this belfry on the side here, which comes into the frame a few times. And I think they're telling you in this video now that they're literally landing on these, okay, on these dirigibles. So they're pulling it out with a World War II biplane. It's in the United States, as I said. Beautiful film, colorized. And I'm going to run through it. And it goes along the lake. And it just floats by. Let me just move it on a bit, because we don't want to see all the boats. No, they're pretty. Excuse me. Okay. Because it's 11 minutes and I wanna get through this. Excuse me, let me just refresh that. I fucked it up. So yeah. It goes over the city. This dirigible airship there, Chicago. I haven't got a year, but it looks around 1905, no, something like just prior to World War I, with this style of plane. Okay, so they bring it out using the motor of a biplane. I dig that. Seems a lot to go through, and then it goes across the lake, and there's some really unusual stuff. You know, so think, right? This is 100 years ago, and they got these. Oh, it must be lovely just to float up. I noticed that they made like a marina here, and then I was like, "What is on there? Is that rubble or rocks? And what about all that? Is that people on there?" And that is like sunken and, you know, like an old jetty or something. But it looks like there's people on it. I might be wrong. But yeah, beautiful little engines, and just gently floating, not too high, not too high. Let me move this on. And people with their little sailboats, and there's a boathouse, not too much different to the modern day. And the lake. So it's day one. So it goes over the city. Look at the size of it. So it's a full moon this week. I'm not sure I like the moon. I was thinking about it. It looks nice when it's rising, and but I don't get a good buzz off it. I think the moon's gay. I think the moon might be gay, guys. I don't like it. I don't like the moon. Fuck the moon. No. Yeah. I'm gonna say that. Nobody's ever said that before. I'm gonna say it. The moon is a wanker. Fuck the moon is what I'm saying. Okay, guys. No, I'm gonna say that. So they say in their narrative the moon causes tides. Well, that can't really be true, because there'd be tides in the Great Lakes, like this one here, Michigan. This massive body of water. If it was, you know, connected with some fucking gravitational pull of any moon, then it would be exhibited on the Caspian Sea, the Black Sea, and the Great Lakes, would it not? Which is not. Or Lake Chad, or Lake Victoria, or any of the Great Lakes. Okay? Which is not. There's no tides. So it's nothing to do with the moon, obviously. And the moon, if it was this big physical body, which they're saying, anyway, it would have like the gravitational pull of Earth, if that was a thing, would be so great compared to the poxy little gravitational pull of the moon, that the event horizon would tip and the Earth would suck the moon in and it would come crashing in. If that was a reality and all that bullshit was a reality, I'm saying. But look at the size of this 100 years ago. Look at that dome. Fantastic imagery, and they all got steam heating. There's massive pipes under Chicago giving it all steam heating 100 years ago, though, guys, you know. That looks beautiful. I would love to be able to travel like that. Just float gently above the city. No sicky feeling or nothing. Not excessive speed. So you can check it out, you know, the size of these buildings. Look at that. That looks a really modern one there, doesn't it, guys? With it got lifts in that one. Hang on. That's another narrative where the lifts arrived from, because, you know, there's some electrical lifts really early on, you know, the one in the Flatterday and the ones in Fifth Avenue early on were supposed to be the first in the world. They say the Otis lifts. Yeah, they're lift shafts and they're gardens on top or something. So the massive railway yards, because Chicago's like a railway crossover place. And then, oh, that's an interesting block building, really large. Yeah, it's a really sweet bit of film, this. Oh, let me move it on. I want to see the railway sidings a bit. I want to see more of the city. So later on, it shows you the, you know, it's going, oh, look, so country houses. It's going out into the sticks now. Prestigo. How pleasant is that? Looks a bit like, you know, with these minarets and stuff, like Portland, Oregon's skyline, because that looks like really, really Tartarian to me. But then that got destroyed as well. Both Portland, Maine and Oregon, both destroyed, weirdly. Look at the size of that building. Whoa, that a canal? That's that canal. So skyscrapers along there now, isn't there? Wow, look at that, guys. I'd love, imagine that, just going across there on a blue. And that's Tartaria. Look at the buildings, Tartarian. Ah, breathtaking stuff, this. I absolutely love it. It's not too much, you know, evidence, aerial footage and ballooning at this period out there. I've seen one of the First World War, guy flying over the Somme, balloon, seen all the devastation. But cities, no, this is one of that looks German. That looks German. But it's got like a Tudor front and that, like English Tudor, but the style is definitely German. Look at the size of that place there, guys. And where I haven't seen the exposition in this. Is this part of the exposition, I'm wondering? It looks a little bit like out of the way, doesn't it? There's all water and floods in the front as well, isn't it? Reflecting, yeah. The size of that one over there as well. Not too many cars around, one or two. Model T Fords down there. And then these massive complexes. God knows what they are. Maybe a holiday place. Wow, fantastic. Let's just squeeze her along a bit. Don't want to watch it for 10 minutes. Oh, it could be a golf club. It is golf. Okay, it's a golf club. And then look at the seaside. Look how many people are there. And they're all in the water there. There's something going on with fun fairs. Carousel. And the whole thing, you know, the fair, the name is a fair. So what, you got to pay a fare. And it's supposed to be a fun fair, and you've got the same things always at the fun fair, the ghost train, Helter Skelter, and, you know, they replicated these rides everywhere in the world in these fun fairs. And I'm thinking there's more going on. I'm thinking that the fun fairs are a sinister affair. So there it goes back into its dirigible hold, used by biplane for motoring. And this is nice little end bit. They're showing you a belfry. And I thought at first it was going to come in and dock, but it was interesting that they got the, you know, the air balloon and the what we think of as being landing platforms in the same shot, almost like telling you that that was what was going on. Because, you know, to my mind, I'd be like, fuck me, that balloon could dock on there. That'd be brilliant, you know. But like, what are they saying? And nobody ever thought that simple concept before. Looks like a cigar, doesn't it? And he just sails past that belfry. Lovely bit of footage, that. Really, really impressed with that this week. Okay, we got lots and lots more to show you. So we're going to have a little giggle now. Okay. So images of the day, and then we're going to get back into some more. I don't know. What? Was he there in person? Oh, so did Daryl. Okay. Hi, Little Wing. Lovely. Campbell. Fairies fare well at fairs as well. Yeah. They all seem to be replicated. And the ghost train as well. Never liked the ghost train. Anyway, let's have a look. How to heal the sick, cast out devils, and still go to hell. Handbook. So, you know, even with like healing the sick, that's a really nice thing to do, guys. You can see why Jesus wanted to heal the sick. So the rest of us haven't got to fucking look at them, listen to them moaning. Heal them, problem solved for the rest of us. No. Trying to run with a boner. Now, I'm guessing you ladies haven't been through this, but men, have you ever tried to run with a boner? It's awkward, isn't it? I know. It doesn't feel natural as well, does it? It's like, fuck no. It's quite nice though, isn't it? I don't know. She's making him pay for her cheating on her rectal thermometer. Okay. That's a punishment. Your state birth certificate declares you are dead already. It's funny that they say that, isn't it? From the cradle to the grave, people are being robbed of their birthright by the government. So why would they tell us that we're dead? It's weird, that, isn't it? La Yanya. Okay. Cha-cha-cha-cha. Da-da-da-da. You think Carla Moran had a crazy thing going on with the fruit on her head? Check this chick. If it is a chick, she's a bit flat on the old frontage, but what is on your head, you crazy person? Is that in Berlin? Oh, that makes perfect sense. Back to Chicago. So yeah, it got destroyed 1871, and then all of this. What is that? What is that on top of that building? And look at that building. That looks like a church or something. It's just, what is it? It's just craziness, absolute craziness. I see the cars coming by there. Must be a little taxi rank, something like that. But the size of this city is just insane. It's grubby, it's dirty. Look at the size of that thing, yeah. We'll have a little look at the Singer building in New York. Apparently the highest building in the world. That didn't last the test of time either. Got torn down. A little bit of information on that. We have covered it before, but got nice photographs. Look at the size of that. And the temple on top. So can you imagine if there was mud up to there, and then that would be all a building that you'd see, and the rest would be under the mud. And it's got like mud prevention, and it's got like future reset prevention on these things. You can land a balloon on it. It's got a balloon landing station. It's like literally like a mega tower from Judge Dredd is what it is. And look at this. Hotel de Ville. It's just massive. I wonder what that steel loop is there. Interesting. And these massive towers, which are stinking, dirty, blackened on top. Why would that be? Again, disproportionate. The thing is just the top of the building sticking out of the ground, is what I think. And look at the detail on their architecture. Further back you go, the better it is. What's happening with the windows blocked up? Can't be window tax, not for everywhere in the world. And somebody said in my comments, put this in my community post, that they remember water pumps being like that. I'm afraid I can't. I don't know why they would be so big when people are so little. And see that kid is go. She's just, the mother said, go and get a bucket of water. And she's like, well, I can't lift the handle. It's 12 feet high. It's for bigger people, isn't it? Like giants. And like Tesla Tower. Now, he makes this tower, and they say it's the only one. And then you got like what, the Eiffel Tower. And this technology was way in the past, guys. Wireless technology was where it was at until the 1900 mark. And then it's all like Edison, Tesla, electric, fucking narrative, when the world all looked like this. Free energy, Antiqua tech. Look at this. Why? It bugs my head to think that they built all these expositions the world over and all of them are gone, and all of this beauty and splendor. The world was fantastic, and now it's poo. But we have the key. We know the key. We just got to find the sound, and then we all lighten up. Like literally light up. So that's interesting. That looks like the Eiffel Tower in a lamp. Can't beat an old book, can you? It's a weird one. So this princess, she got a pee under the bed. I don't mean she got a piss pot. I mean a pee, princess and a pee under the mattress. And she's like, I can still feel that pee because it's all in her mind and she's a bit of a nutcase. Get another mattress and it keeps going on. Have a mattress, have a mattress, have a mattress. She gets to the top mattress. Yeah. She can still feel the pee under the mattress. Yeah. Because she's like stupid and she got a crumb in her pajamas or whatever. So let's have a look at Mech Woman. Bird in a cage. Weird. Looks really lifelike. Wow, Red Cap Goblin. Have a pint on me. Well, I don't drink per se, but thanks very fucking much. What I do need is keep a roof over my head, so that would be fantastic. But I'm not a drinker as such. It's not my thing. So there's the Phoenicians literally pouring out of the water, like literally how they arrive, I'm guessing, out of the water. Manifested in 3D here in this, whatever this dream state is that condescends into be a reality. And it is not. It's a piss poor imitation, a copy of a copy. Wow. They must think we're born fucking yesterday. That we're not going to notice all of this. Who even knows? Who even knows what that is? Could be the Garden of Eden and Mount Meru in the middle. There's a big wall around the Garden of Eden, apparently. And I noticed with the, I mentioned they have a lot of mirrors on the carousels and the carousels spin, but I noticed they're above as well. So like you be in your horse here going around at high speed and then there'd be a mirror above you as well as on the side of you. Technology. So there's the Antiquitech anyway. People do believe that there's red mercury container and a capacitor frequency amplifier stored in some balls in the area underneath the belfry. And the resonator is thought to be thought as the onion dome, and the antenna bit is this. And the resonator is because of its purity in metal, and the antenna is because of the symmetry and the beautiful metals that they don't produce anymore, which if you just blow at it, it would resonate and like shake. It'd probably be audible and spark as well. So I wonder if these lamps were something else in the past as well, because, you know, the Davy lamp narrative, I never bought that really. And these oil lamps, they're beautiful, they're ornate, and they really just for like, oil lamps originally, or is there something else going on with them? I really do think. And excuse my language, cheers for cunts. Why do they have like crowny people, like kings and queens and stuff, go on thrones? Cheers for cunts. This is in Winchester, in Westminster Cathedral, and you can't be a king or a queen because Charles is going to be sitting on this in the summer, King Charles. And there's the stone of Scone underneath, which is just a big stone, but you've got to be literally crowned on it from Scotland, some stone. So what is so important about that stone? Is it just a bog standard fucking non-important stone? Or is there something specific? Because there's loads of these weird stones. There's the London stone as well, which is protected in a cage on a building in London. They say if the London stone goes, so does London. Something about that stone there. They take it out. This is the chair, but they take the stone of Scone out. And this goes down, this throne apparently goes back to the days of Edward the Confessor. Apparently, they telling you. Okay, the Henrys have been, the Plantagenets, the plant agents have all been crowded on here as well. Some of the Stuart monarchy. And it's just doesn't look very nice quality. It's a piece of shit, really, isn't it? They got all that money. And here's some from Europe as well. Kings of Europe have these massive metal chairs. I cannot think, and that's a technology. Ooh. Cookie Monster on Sesame Street. Monsters on the Loose. This was obviously before that time, but there he is, Cookie Monster. Check out the eclipse as well. That's quite interesting. October 1976. Cookie! And Cookie Monster is eating the towers. Coincidentally. Okay, this is Lady Ganja. Now, I'm getting like that. We've all been in the mosh pit, haven't we? But in my day and age, you didn't hold your phone up and watch the band. You literally watched the band with thine own eyes. And then there's not a twat in front of you holding his camera up in your way as well. Like when you go to the cinema and you got Mr. Big Head in front of you with his hat on. So we did see a video of this a couple of weeks ago where she had a big pair of, well, not to put a finer point on it, she had a big dick. She doesn't seem to be with penis there, but you can tuck them away, so I'm told. Just gotta be... So what? Dive into a crowd full of people dressed like that. I'm sorry, that just doesn't seem natural or normal. That seems weird. She's going to get touched up by everybody. This one's never going to get touched up by anybody ever. Hit me, baby, one more time. I think they hit you a little bit much. And who are you working for? Who's Dick Prod? Dick Prod, guys. It's just telling you everything there. Justin Timberlake, Dick prodded her. She's getting a bit meaty, isn't she? She's won an award. Her hair's grown back. She's looking to escape her daddy's clutch, but I don't think that's going to ever happen because she's a special kind of nuts, you know. Hit me, baby, one more time. And there you are, the Mort Cages. We'll have a little look at them a little bit later. The idea was to keep the souls in, but somebody hit me up this week with an idea about souls, and I'll issue that up a little bit later. So, Electrobus, okay, charging power station in London. In the Edwardian era, they had electric buses and a charging station in the past, just like earlier on. They all pull in, charge up, use them again in the morning. Bit stupid that they go 100 years with petrol. Now they're going back to the electric car, pushing them like there's no tomorrow. There's Carnaby Street in London in the 1960s. A fuck ton of colour. The world got switched on colour. Look at the colour on her top there. Everyone looks so healthy. Better. The world's better. The world is better. This is Grange Hill. This is Grange Hill. You may not remember Todd Carty, Greenie, and I don't know. But it's like my little gang in school. He's like Adam. He's like Bestie, and he's like Adam Griffiths. And I wouldn't have been like Tucker because basically I had no hair, and I wouldn't have looked like that, like Pam Ayres either, with a basin cut. So they cut this tree down. It was a famous tree that had been there a long, long time, and it was that big. And they felt that they should cut it down. That's murder to me. That is, cutting trees down is murder. I talk to trees. I love trees. Trees talk to me back. I got a special thing going on with trees and animals. This is Hayes Island, 1972, in Cardiff, where I live. Okay, these trees are much, much bigger, and that's the central library, the water mudfloods at Cardiff City Centre. Public toilets. Today, they're all barred off, and you can't go and use them. And they're like the most ornate Victorian toilets you could ever imagine, but you're not allowed to use them. So there's literally an underground thing, the whole of this island here. I noticed the mentality of fucking 1972. NF on the thing there, and this statue here, he's usually got a street comb or a comb on his head, traffic comb. He's always covered in pigeon shit, as you'd expect. Okay, how many of you are not even aware the most famous image of Tesla isn't even a photograph but a composite of two images? Yeah, I've seen it so many truth videos. The Tesla fans are fast asleep. So again, he's not really in there. It's two composite images. They've been doing this Photoshop and fuckery with us since the very beginning. Now, I'm not sure if Russell Brand had watched Flat Earth British. He probably would. And he'd probably want to nick my jokes and stuff, because he's not really got that much of an imagination. So he was married to this year. Okay, Katie. Okay, let's try and investigate Katie. She got some more going on than maybe she should have. If not, okay, Put it away, love. That's nasty. Especially all the ginger bits, ginger hairs sticking out the side. That's a bit unflavorable. But yeah, so she seems a bit like she got more going on there, doesn't she, than she should have. Maybe we should ask Russell, was your ex-wife a bloke? So the narrative that they did this, but they don't show you in a photograph, and it's sparking up these every single night on the end of a lethal ladder, and it's like with ropes so that you don't die, and then you light 500 candles using the stick, okay, and then you climb back down the ladder, you don't die, and you have to do that every single day. Perfect sense. The Spanish love their giants, and here's one here. Looks like he's alive, doesn't it? Look at the size of him. I can imagine people that big walking around. I really can. I'll show you some video, giant video in a minute. See some of the size of some of these people. So these are normal people, and these are what I can only presume are mannequins. But they've built these giants. And this is in Paris. And look how lovely. I got some video of London at this era. And there's literally a kid hanging on the back of a bus on a skateboard in the 1930s. And they lead us to believe all of that stuff's new. But these are the buses. And everything looks really mint compared to what it is in a modern day. And there's different eras of British life. You know, the mountain era and Boadicea and, you know, some of the colonies, Australia, etc. At the Empire, India, I'm guessing. Didn't get an Indian woman to do that. That's a bloke there, by the way. Oh, the bullshitness of being British. And here they are, the Brits as knights, showing you how all of this shit went down. Stabby, stabby, thrusty, thrusty. But they did have a lovely ice cream van. Look at that. Ice creams in wafers. They sell jellies. Stop me. Try one. I would. That looks fantastic. That looks absolutely fantastic. I love these retro cars. This old lady, she lives on a bridge in an old house in Cumbria. Obviously, she's dead because she's really old there. She knits scarves and then she hangs them outside the window. So if you want to buy one on the way past, knock at the door and buy one. He served in the Napoleonic Wars. He's still got his uniform on. What does he do for a living now? He sells matches, newspapers, bits of wire to get by after he'd done all that battle-y stuff. Oh, shit. So let's have a look at the 1920s chick. What's she selling? Imitation flowers, door. Oh, for Alexandra Day. Celebration of Alexandra Day. I'm not aware of what Alexandra Day actually is. There it is. Let's have a look. Saturday, the 16th of June, 1928. And it's the 17th celebration of Alexandra Day. In the memory of Her Majesty Queen Alexandra, of course it is. Huh. A lot of royal bullshit, basically. Ugh. Oh, Ulverston. There's a place I've never heard of in my entire life. But there's your bus. There's Blakey. I'll have you back. If you don't know on where the bus is, don't worry about it. So, yeah, isn't it funny how it's blood red, a post box, and the telephone boxes are also the same colour of blood red. So when they were putting these all over Britain, why did they choose the blood red colour? Something in that post as well. And I think the telephone boxes were something else. This is the construction of Mauritania, not to be mistaken with the Titanic, in Southampton, in Bygone Pass. But it's a massive ship, and it's very, very much like the Lusitania and the Titanic, etc. Very similar. So there you are. That's how we did the internet in the old days. We nipped off down to the post box, and we put a letter into the post box. Look how nice everything is. The hedges kept all lovely. The walls are really good nick. Hedges lovely. No dog shit. You know, it's so bad where I live. There's dog shit like literally everywhere. There's dog shit on top of dog shit where I live. And I ain't even joking. So he's posting a letter for his ma. Where's he living? Oh, Rye Hastings. Yeah, he's on the south coast of England. How very nice. So, yeah, it was a much better world. Nice buses, nice clothes. I can't imagine what the mindset of these people, what they talked about. They were very creative, weren't they? Good with writing. They all had skills. Lennox, it says on our wall there. And that post box looks like it's been battered. It's really messy. And counting the buses as they go past, which there won't be any of. See these? These are kilts, and they're worn by Highlanders and Scottishmen. And I wouldn't take the piss if I were you, because you get a Scotsman punching you or giving you a Glasgow kiss. But I can imagine, right? They don't wear underpants under them. I can imagine like what about breezy days and stuff. Yeah. What if it's really cold as well? Yeah. Just saying. No expert in, just I won't go into battle when I fucking kill. Fuck that. Here's Chelsea pensioners. Apparently they're all served in wars, and then they give them a place to live. Hang around the streets of London and make it look like we're epic, like we've done stuff. That's what they're doing. And the great British seaside, build a sandcastle, bury your mother up to her neck, and dib-dib-dob, the scouts. Yeah. Knock the door and make your scouts promise. You've got an oath. You did a pact. Okay. And you can knock doors and sell, Boy Scout cookies instead of Girl Scout cookies. Here they are. Arcala trailing. Isn't it weird how you got all in the names of the hierarchy? You've got Baden-Powell, who's definitely a paedophile. You've got, all of these boys out of the way, camping in tents in the summer, away from their parents. I don't know. I don't fucking trust any of all of that. No, my missus was in care and grew up in foster homes and all of that. And she said that the girls were all right in these homes. She said, but I wouldn't want to be in the boys' shoes on camping holidays. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, really? You're like, yeah. So I thought, like, well, there's your scouts. These are yeomen of the guard, so they look proper gay, but they got a guard. Look at the flowers and stuff. Tower of London. Yeah, that's what they do. They'll kill you. Oh, yeah. Even though they're dressed like proper spanners, all of them, they'll totally kill you. They look a bit like the Swiss Guard in the Vatican, only gayer. Let's have a look at this. Oh, casino in Paris. Okay. Sarah Corinth showing us her Nellies. Oh, and a bit more by the look of it. But she's got a big snake. She's got a big snake going on. Snake charming. So in the past, going to work bollock naked would not get you arrested. So if you could go to work in London naturist style, I wouldn't go in the rain. Anyway, I'm just saying. But yeah, they had no problem with nudity in the past. Apparently, you could just not get arrested and go to work naked, which is fucking great. I posted this on the community message page the other day. I've shown it 100 times. It's supposed to be from the 1700s, and it shows some sort of flying technology. I find the balls really interesting. And it looks like they've just, put stuff together or bits from a garden shed. But it flies in an era when they got no flight, apparently. So belly dances are good, aren't they? Let's have a little think. I've been to Turkey twice, and I've never seen no belly dancers. Didn't see too many women either, really. Ooh. God, I wonder if she's ever just popped out. That would be embarrassing for her, wouldn't it? Or not? So, I'm not sure who this is. Is that Miley Cyrus girl boy thing? I don't know. It's a clever little hip thing going on there. Oh, quite nice, actually. You're quite aroused there. Anyway, so Manta Hari, right, let's get this straight. Manta Hari, so she's a famous prostitute, and she, literally gets, German generals into her boudoir, and she squeezes secrets out of them concerning the First World War. And that is a boy. Okay. I can't imagine no famous prostitute having no tits whatsoever. And a bloke's face and, well, pretty much everything else as well. So Manta Hari was a fella, and that says a lot for the German High Command of First World War, doesn't it, guys? Yeah. Screaming Yellow Zonka was the name of that I'm not sure if that's all right. Yellow, oh, excuse me, Beetle in the 60s, 70s. Here's Spock in his hippie days. Hobbit hole. He was a bit of a hippie, wasn't he, Leonard, when he was around? He also liked nude photography, apparently. So here's David in his hippie days when he was Davy Jones before he went all like Aladdin insane and all the rest of it. Kind of like him, kind of don't, David Bowie. Big part of my life in the past, but I did go to see him in a glass spider tour, and he was proper crap. I'm undecided, but I think he is still alive. I don't think he died. Right, what wood doesn't float? Natalie. As you know, here's a picture of Natalie in her bikini. Okay. So, I know you're thinking, why is he perving at pictures of Natalie Wood in a bikini? Because it's my channel, and I would, wouldn't I? Yeah? Any opportunity. I don't think they're real. They look like not real, but they are real, but they don't look real. So there's that film. It happened in World's Fair with Elvis Presley, and that is Kurt Russell. You know, before he's fighting aliens in Antarctica, he's kicking Elvis in the shin. That would hurt. So he's another child prodigy, isn't he, Kurt Russell? Oh, this is a good book. You seen this one? Everything's a dildo if you're brave enough. Maybe not the rowing boat, though. I can imagine that being a bit uncomfortable, but, you know, everything's a dildo if you're brave enough. I put this on my community message saying, is there anything wrong with this picture? Some of you suspected that it was a man. What is wrong with you? Yeah, obviously there's nothing wrong with that picture, which is why I posted it. That was the answer. What is wrong with this girl's behind? Absolutely fucking nothing is wrong with that girl's behind. She looks like a girl I used to go out with when I was in school. She's really, really familiar. I wonder if it was. So if you went in a pub in the 60s, yeah, apart from the you know, the Ronettes standing over in the bar, everything seemed, the beer was shit though. It really was shit, the beer in the 60s. You had Skull Lager, fucking horrible, all of it. But yeah, the pubs were much better than now. So it's a modern flat bottom girls, you make the rocking world go round. Yeah, I can imagine that being quite pleasant on cobble, naked cycling for a woman. That's another thing I was looking into. Why Herod wanted the firstborn killed in Bethlehem prior to Jesus' birth. It's like, how did Herod know that the King of Kings was going to be born? Why did he actually get away with killing all of the firstborn? And it's not the first time in history either. There's other narratives for killing all the firstborn, like it's called infanticide. And there's infanticide being carried out in here. Why is that? So this is in Sri Lanka. And it looks to be like a melted, or maybe a tree trunk, but all that black melty stuff there. And there's like a civilization or something on top of it. That's in Sri Lanka. In the jungle somewhere. So this is all of the performance this week. I don't know whether you've seen this, but it's gone over 2 states. It went over Oregon. No one spotted it. I think it went over Montana. And then everyone's like, oh, there's a balloon with what looks like the IFS hanging off it. But, you know, this is loon balloon. This is like, you know, we've known all along the satellites are not there and they're on balloons. The Google will tell you anyway. But they're saying it's like a Chinese spy satellite. Like what? Like we got Google. Everything's spied on us constantly. I don't think maybe that's the case. But it's still like put in their heads that fucking got some Chinese shit up there flying over American airspace. We don't want that. They could be dumping any shit on us. Remember the bat bombs, World War II, with the goddamn Japanese? That's the mentality that's going to be going on now. So I think, obviously it's all bullshit, but they are planting a seed, Tavistock Institute, into the mind of the masses to start hating on them Chinese. Because let's be honest, that's going to be on the cards, is a war with the Chinese. Yeah. They definitely want to go in and kill them all. There's a lot of them, so we will be really busy. But that's definitely on the cards. Shame on you, Brighton, if anyone's from Brighton. And Lynn Murphy. When the Welsh flag is beyond your artistic capabilities in the Druids pub in Brighton. Dragon. Brighton person. You couldn't even draw a fucking dragon, so you just drew dragon. That's ridiculous. I'm really offended as well. One of Picasso's other famous paintings it's called Tax Season. Yeah. Yeah, we're all getting fucked all right by the government. This is like playing on my mind. This is like, I've never had an enema, right? And I don't even know what they would be like. It's like sluicing your bum out with water. I don't know, right? But check this guy, Professor Arnold. This is going to be troublesome on the mind. Warning, okay? But it's true. I had obese patients that eliminated from their body as much as 50 to 60 pounds of waste and 10 to 15 pounds alone from the colon, mainly consisting of foreign matters, especially old, hardened feces. The average so-called healthy person of today carries continually with them, since childhood, several pounds of never eliminated feces. One good stool a day means nothing. A fat and sick person is actually a living cesspool. That's fucking disgusting. That is disgusting. So you got like manky shits up you from the 1970s is what they're telling you. Like tons of it. It's all just jammed there and stuff. That's horrible. Heads, I win. That's my lucky coin. I never fail with that. So this came out literally earlier today, 8 o'clock this morning. Google shuts Loon Helium Balloon project in the New York Times. So there's that yesterday showing you exactly this scenario, and they're announcing to us, which can't be the thing because that's your satellites right there. They're announcing that they are shutting it down. What exactly is going on? I'm not actually sure what is going on. There's an agenda attached to these balloons at the moment with that Chinese balloon as well. Don't know. Right, let's have a look at the Great Unwashed. So I'm a child of the 60s and I did the festival thing, you know, all of the tripping, mud, forests, festivals, the whole thing for what seemed like a lifetime. I was the Great Unwashed for a long time, okay? And I fitted that lifestyle literally perfectly as the hippie. But this was the first one, like, of its style. They kicked it off like a folk version in England, as you know, Glastonbury. But the Great Unwashed of Woodstock, 500,000 people descended. Most of them just nicked in. And then it is like the third world. Yeah, there's literally starving people. And the US military sent seeding airplanes over Woodstock, causing it to rain really, really hard for the one afternoon, swamping the place out and drowning everyone. She's attractive. Here they are, our peace-loving hippies. Wouldn't hurt a fly, and at the same time, you've got like Vietnam raging. But they soon get rid of the hippie movement with Charles Manson psyop. Everyone hates a hippie after Charles Manson. So that was deliberate. And only a couple of weeks after the moon landing did they pull all of this off. So it's sort of like, shouldn't we be thinking about all of that moon stuff, the greatest, you know, adventure in human history? It's like, no, everyone's getting fucked in Woodstock this year. I'm taking their minds off the moon completely because this is like weeks later. You know, this is the same summer as the man walks on the moon. And it is fucking terrible. Can you imagine this squalor? I couldn't live like that all the time. You've got to have a proper bath and stuff. And fucking hell, I wouldn't want to be dirty bum fucking days on end. That'd be terrible, wouldn't you? No. Well, that's what they did. But in Glastonbury, they got like the mixed showers. It's fucking awesome. I love the mixed showers. Yeah, everybody's naked in the mixed showers, men and women together. I thought, like, yeah, this is brilliant. Would you, excuse me, you've got a bit of dirt on your back. Would you like me to help get it off? So they look nice. She got a really nice dress sense. She looks really pretty. I like her. So there they are. The Hells Angels, they were problematic. They usually are, though. But I met a lot of Hells Angels in my life, and they got something going on. They're in a club, and they're all loaded. I recognize him. Is that Country Joe? Oh, he's a famous musician. Yes, this is from Jefferson Airplane. Yee. So you poor man. What are you having for dinner in that wasteland of 500,000 people? Is a sausage on your piss poor fire. You're going to need to get them sticks burning, otherwise you're going to be eating raw pork, my old China. So there they are, getting down and funky. They're all tripping. They're all in the zone. You look at him, he's in the zone. This guy's in the zone. He's really in the zone. There's a couple of different types of people. Eventually you get it, right, with us festivals. But first of all, you've got other people who watch other people and try to take them off to be the cool hippie festival way, if that makes sense. Usually embarrassing themselves, like people at a pop concert who sing along to the lyrics of the band without actually knowing the words, and the camera goes up onto them and they're like, getting it all wrong because they don't know the words. That type of mentality. Okay, there's thems that were it, and the rest were just suits, like they wanted to be it, if you know what I mean. He's looking quite happy and chilled out there. So she's getting her Nellies out and a little bit of hippie dancing. Can't fault. Yeah, that is really nice. Ooh, she's pretty. Well, she got a bullet necklace on. Oh yeah, that's nice. Well, she's fab. She's fab. I'd love to time travel this week back to Woodstock. Okay. Wow, what a lot of nice clothes going on in the 60s. Look at this. It's shit now. Look how beautiful she is. Oh my God. And look at her clothes. Oh my God. And she's with the right Spanish hippie that plays a fucking harmonica. How annoying. It's always the same. Look at this. Oh, she's beautiful. Look at what they does with her eyes. Sequins. The good old days of bell bottoms. Yeah, boob tubes. TPs. The good old days. Acid shagging in TPs. Look at his bouffant. Fucking hell. That is a lovely, lovely mop of hair. Bit of an afro going on there. In the Wonderland Zoo. Check this out. So, what's that? Has she been burned? Burned by cigarettes or something? Anyway. The 60s was fab. Everything was more fab. Look at her. She's got a bell on. Maybe she'll be watching Rosemary's Baby. And it's like that herb that they put in it. Ooh, she's nice. Let's have a look. Oh, to time travel. So here's the bottom half of some hippies. The faces were not really required. So don't get the same in the modern day because basically... the clothes don't fit the same over the folds of flesh. I liked Janis Joplin. I really did. And she moves me, if I listen to like Ball and Chain at Woodstock and I like the power and the emotion, she like literally gives me shivers, she, moves me. She does. She was really great. I really liked Janis Joplin. And a fair pair of Nellies on her. Here's a mess though. We'll check that. Oh my days. She looks almost North American Indian. Turn on your mind, relax. These are the suits that I was talking about. Don't worry, give them a couple of years. They'll be old school festival goers, completely shot to pieces and all the acid that they've taken. Yeah. Not that matters. And the showers. Oh, that's not showers. But we has mixed showers in Glastonbury. Because basically, you don't want to be a smelly cunt for 3 days. That is nasty. And tripping smelly is worse. So let that hair fling around, guys. Yeah, just get wild, get funky, get down, dig it. Can you dig it? Gosh, she's nice. So I'm having a little perv, all in tasty women. And I went to Woodstock to amuse myself, which is really lovely. I hope you enjoyed too. Oh, look at that. full of life and love and youth. And this is where they piss down with rain, but they're still having a great time because Country Joe's whacking it out on the stage. They had a crazy stage, though. But, like, you know, what kind of festival do you go when you all sit on your ass in a mess anyway? And get up and fucking pogo, dance and stuff like normal festivals. That, mind you, this is the beginning, though, of festivals. Out in the middle of, you know, fucking rural New York state. And this place, like, you know, this couple, you'll see their photo in a minute, gave their farm over to the festival. But everyone just nicked in, like 500,000 people just nicked in. Just crazy. Beach buggies. I love beach buggies. Okay. So I bet it felt really good. I bet it felt fantastic. You don't look too happy. What's the matter, mate? Not having a good festival? Make the most of it. It's supposed to be brilliant. I would have been straight there day one, skinny dipping down on the river, as long as there's no turds floating around. That's where the action's going to be happening. And then a load of silly gets pissing around on a climbing frame. Oh, no, they're putting up a tent, a bender. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So there they all are. The Great Unwashed, the Beast to Be. They got to go through the 70s and the 80s. I wonder how many of these are still alive. I wonder if anyone watched Flat Earth British. This stage took forever to put up, and it's just made of ply. And I'm wondering what kind of, you know, how loud was it? Because you got like, all right, you got the speakers on the stage. You got Carlos Santana playing, yeah? He only got paid $750, one of the lowest wages. That was rude. And I noticed they got like the big speakers up here on the stacks and some woofers up there, but not that much for 500,000 people. I'm thinking it wasn't that loud, but huge, huge stage that they built. And I don't know what all these material things are. They're like, maybe there's some tradition that they just put like materials over the fence to make it look pretty. And there he is, Carlos Santana. He said he was tripping on mescal at the time, and he said his guitar was doing a number on him, but he still managed to play off some of the best fucking licks ever in the history of humanity. And his bass player, he fucking smashed it as well with Santana. Black Magic Woman. No, Soul. I think it was Black Magic Woman. They just smashed it. And there's the mix. There's the mixing desk. It's not very high tech, is it, guys? Yeah, he's got that wires running all the way from the stage underneath all them people as well. And he's doing all his mixing from out there. How times change. They're massive towers now, aren't they? Now, this is why I want a monkey. I want a little monkey like that. She took him to Woodstock. Yeah? She loves a monkey. Look at her face. I love my monkey. I'd have it. If I had that monkey, I'd love it. And he's having a brilliant time. He's in Woodstock with a monkey. This Country Joe. Oh, no, that's Sebastian. That's Sebastian. Sorry, isn't it? Yeah, Sebastian. All right. She looks like she's had a shit full. Give it another couple of days. You'll have pleurisy and be going home moaning to your mother. Okay. Face slapping in the hay. Great laugh. Bit of naked, youthful stuff in water. Which seems fantastic. And Richie Havers doing a version of Freedom, which was the best version of Freedom or music track in the history of music tracks ever. He literally smashed it. It's one of the gives me shivers moments of my life is when Richie Havers, sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Ah, yeah. I look at it at night. They never had none of this before. Like Glastonbury looks like a city at night. All the festivals do. But this was the first in this type. And, you know, they gave him a Woodstock later in 1991, but they fucked it up and they wouldn't give him another. But they got lights. Pretty. The stage was huge. I wonder how loud it really was at Woodstock. They got speakers up there as well, see. You know, I like to think that it was like phenomenally loud. There's Ravi Shankar. He literally cut through a jet coming over with his sitar. Just ripped straight through the noise. Another historic moment. So how would you feed yourself at Woodstock? Is these people, they're running a little fresh food and bread bar, which is great to keep you alive. And there's when it rained like fuck. So there's a sound desk. You got to cover it over with plastic. How high tech. Yeah, that must have been really miserable. But do a bit of mudsliding, which is, as long as you don't have a shower later, great, but I wouldn't advise it. Fucking hell. I had a bicycle one year in the mud. It was brilliant. You'd be surprised how much you can get around in like a foot of mud on a bicycle. Like literally, like it's just phenomenal. A bike works brilliantly in sloppy mud. Oh, but they picked all this rubbish up because that is really, really bad. There's some Campbell's tomato soup there. Motorbike helmet. Somebody's dead. And there, this is the couple. They're really happy about the state of their farm, but they did take $10 million or whatever. They did get extremely rich, and they seem really happy. They're pretty cool for a couple of mid-American normies type of things. They're really happy about it all. Love them. And look at this. There's Charlie before he got into like sending people to kill, getting wild and wacky on the LSD, man. So that's what you got to do. You got to dance like you're off your tits. It's like she's got the hippie thing going on. She's not a suit. She's like, I've been doing this for years, and I actually look cool when I'm doing hippie dancing instead of like a real plum. Which happens. Like he looks a bit of a plum. You know, there's good dancing and there's bad dancing. Nobody cares anyway. You can dance how the fuck you want. Nobody's gonna bat an eyelid, even if you're not very good at it, because that's the way dancing is, isn't it? You just gotta let yourself go, man. Let your hair down. Like you're the only person in the room and you don't give a shit, which is what dancing's about. So there's Jefferson Airplane smashing her out and manic morning music, and I really like her. So here's Bear's photographs of Romania. We're going to hurry through because I got a lot, and I'm going to show you some videos in a minute as well. And we are getting on in time, and it is a long vlog. We've got 700, nearly 800 people watching. Please share this out. YouTube are a motherfucker with truth just lately. So Bear, who's in chat now, Romanian Bear, he went and took pictures of all of this groovy Phoenician statues, Tartarian buildings with Phoenician overtones in some of them. So it looks very nice place anyway. We'll be honest, you've got nice cars in Romania and architecture. What's that say up there? Oh, Brazov, it says up there. So at least we're getting like a geographical location. 1977, it says on that registration. But look at that on the corner. So the Czech Republic was amazing when I went there last year. Very similar sort of architecture, covered in Phoenician ornamentation. But yeah, wow, it's a lot of it survived. I don't know what sort of damage took in World War II, but you get a lot of this Cold War architecture, you know, from when the Russians were there. Yeah, because they had, I know the Romanians sort of had a little upheaval, didn't they? Like, same as the Hungarians, not really sold out with all of the communist hoo-ha business. Oh, that's nice and wrecked. Mud flooders. Yeah, really nice. Really, really good buildings. Oh, God, look at the stones on there. Mud flood windows. Very similar feel to the Czech Republic with the wrecked on the bottom bit. So nice and weathered, you know, giving a bit of character. Oh, look at that one. That's nice. Very Cold War feeling, that one. It's like you're going to go and exchange some microfilm later in there. Beautiful Romanian spy woman. There you are. That's my little Martin fantasy for this minute. Whoa, look at that. Bit of Antiquitech there, Bear. So you were driving around, taking photographs of flatearthbritish. Thanks so much. What was groovy to look at for us? Oh, that's nice. Hidden behind a fence. So, yeah. Got some skyscrapers there in Breslov. I wonder why the wires, what they're keeping out or keeping in. That looks very statey building. I think it is. Well, what am I looking at the sign for? Like I speak Hungarian, Romanian. Yeah, we've got a lot of flags flying around. More than we have in Wales. Oh, look at that one there. Wow, that's really, really good, that one. 1936, it says up there. I can't imagine that being vandalism from before the war. Whoa, what is going on with that? So look at vandalism. Interesting vandalism. Let's have a look up here. Nice higher balcony. And it's got like an inscription thing up there, bas relief. Cool. I wonder what all them are. I do not know. So very nice though. Right. Again with the railings, yeah, stop people breaking in, but a lot higher up as well you get them. I wonder if there's more going on with these railings. Oh, that's a nice one. Look at that one. I like it that you can see the red brick underneath, so you know what's really underneath there. Okay. Nice. Thanks, Bear. These are really snaz. What's that? Oh, somebody dragging a Christmas tree. All right, then. Somebody dragging a tree. There's a tree on the floor. See how I pick everything apart? I literally break everything down, guys. Literally everything. So I break that shit down right now. Find out what's going on. Everything. Anything. All the time. All day. Every day. That's why there's never dull moments. There's so much to pick apart. It's like trees, grass, anything is worth a thought. Oh, that's pretty. A little man in there. I think it's a Santa Claus. Oh, it's baby Jesus. All right, so look. Yeah, they fuck up these buildings with outside conduits. You'd think that they would, petition it off or put it behind something so you don't have to see the big bleeding wires. So anyway, let's move on. I'm going to show you a couple of films now, guys, because I tell you what, we are really, we're going good. We're firing ahead. Right, this is Fifth Avenue in the 1920s. A little bit of footage to show you for a minute. I've got a few films to show you. And this is pretty good. I like this one. Okay. This is the world we used to live in. It looks 10 times better than now. It really does. Everything looks cleaner. And that little tower there for the traffic. Everyone's so well turned out. Wonder what everyone does. Same as now working. So that cop has done something wrong. They put him on traffic duty. Seems happy enough, though, getting stuck in. Wow. Time traveling or what? Look at the size of that building in the background. And all the cars seem really, really, good quality cars, really, clean. So here's New York. Somebody's hired somebody to come and drive him around because he's apparently can't do shit for himself. The daughter looks like she's gonna have die of speed. Look at her. She's like, oh fucking hell, we're going quick. He's got it down. He's happy. And the guy's like, yeah, he's like, this is a good car. He's like, not impressed. He's taking his whole family out. They seem a bit fucking horrible. And look at the kid's face in the front. He's like moody cow. It's like how many? Oh, look, you got to stop. They got traffic lights though. 1910. Okay, now. So the cars have just arrived. This is the first of them. So he's a bit of a twat, isn't he, that guy in the car? And his spoilt daughter. It's like you're only doing about 20 miles an hour. And she got a face like a smacked ass. I would have left her home. Then gone home and told her how brilliant it was. That would be her own fault. Spoiled people. So, London 1930 is pretty much the same. Spotlessly clean. And I want to just draw your attention to a boy. I think he's on a skateboard. But this is a lovely bit of footage as well. Yeah. Okay, so 1930s London, same copper things going on with the traffic. You won't see that in the modern day, that's for sure. Okay, he just got killed. He just walked in front of a bus and got killed. Don't worry. Plenty more, please. So look at that. Dennis wagon there. First World War troops type of thing. Okay, God, it's chaos. Look at that guy between the horse and they're all doing stupid suicide stuff. Right, watch there. Do you see that? There. What's he holding on to? He's on a skateboard. Him there. He's on a skateboard. Huh. He's on a skateboard doing like, you know, like Michael J. Fox. Look, he nearly died there. And there's Buckingham Palace. Oh, look at them couple of soldiers. Should we go out on our horses today, Bradford? Yes, I think we should do. What? Because you're allowed to just go around London on your... So everything was better back then. Have you noticed how everything is spotless? The people are better quality. And I don't know. It's just the whole world. This is the best one here. Paris Expo. Check this out for a bit of footage, guys. This is mind-blowing. The exposition, you know, I covered in my last post, you may have seen, right? This is the best footage that I've ever seen of it, okay? And they're going along the same. Try and imagine seeing this world. Blows your mind. All of that built for temporary, they're telling us. Look at the size of it. All of that just for 10 months. Do you buy that? All that glass, all of that detail, the size of it. What? The size of the doors, the giant doors, even though it's temporary. And there's a big, there's the planisphere just going up there. And look what's behind. The other Eiffel Tower. Look at that world. Look at that world. Let's just stop there. Look at that again. Look at that. Can you imagine seeing that? And they built all of that for 10 months. No fucking way. Jose, that is not happening. I'm sorry, that's just not happening. I don't care what anyone says. That is not happening. So Hanoi in Vietnam, of all places, yeah, was pretty much unheard of until the Vietnam War. Yeah, they had an exposition there, okay, in 1900. And they are telling you again that they built all of this fine antiquitech in Hanoi, okay, for, you know, Vietnamese people. I didn't think they had such a hierarchy that would appreciate aggressive exposition, living all on the Mekong fucking Delta and all. But apparently, no. Apparently, no. You got some military types there. And they built all the same thing again in Hanoi in the last century. And they built that. So is it there now? I very much doubt it. And Hanoi is like, you know, got what? All of that going on 100 years ago. It's not really fitting with my vision of Vietnam. Not really. And all of these buildings is not really fitting with my vision. And they knocked it all down, and then they forgot about all of the crazy good architecture and the electricity and everything else. And then they reverted back to, you know, Hanoi rocks. And it's again, it's like the Madagascar exposition and the dependencies. I get that this is French French Indochina, isn't it? This is French Indochina, Vietnam at this period. So the French are the colonials. So Tonkin, Bay of Tonkin, another false flag, and another fictitious moment in history. This is the point I am now, guys. Though, you know, all of these key moments in history, they're just set to play us. They really are. You know, even simple ones like, I don't know, the Watergate scandal, set up the whole thing. Then news reporters, they were in on it. They were fucking insiders. Everything is for a reason. And they can't just go and do that to a president like he got no power over the media. It was meant to happen. It's part of the narrative. It's part of the ongoing story for everyone to go up at, like they got going on with the bullshit royals at the moment, which is like nauseating to say the least. And like, actually, who gives a fuck? So yeah, all these coolies, yeah, these guys, they built all that. Look, guys, they built that. And they brought all the stone on that cart there. No, that's like a steamroller. That's like a roller. Fair dues. Can't knock them. Can't knock them. They built all that shit. Look at the size of it. Temporary. For a couple of months, and then it'll knock down again. And I can't imagine it being particularly wealthy. Beehives? Maybe. You see why the Phoenicians are big on the bees in their encoding and that, because that's how, you know, the structure of like Britain is, for example, isn't it? As everyone's working for the Queen or the King, bee, and we're all worker bees for it. It's the same structure as the hive. Is what they're doing with civilization, which is why they copy it. Interesting. That's all our mud there. And look how the French are overseeing and telling everyone he's on his own. Just because he got a white suit on, he can shout at everyone. But the size of the architecture is just mad. French colonials. And they're building what looks like a bandstand or a bunko booth. There's a lot of white French Europeans there, I'm guessing, at this period. Because it's Indochina. But the Vietnamese obviously look like they're not, they're like, what? They're being treated like second-class citizens like they do with everything in the colonial world, aren't they? They just come in, take over, make you do shit. That's where we are in all countries. America, Britain, all of us. We have a different world going on, guys. We've been hijacked. Consciousness has been hijacked. The vibration on a lot of these people in the old world and their looks are just like nothing like what we got now. It's just they have wisdom, skills, spiritual knowledge, and everyone's just like spiritually lost. I bet these people got connections to their guardian angels and just a view into the spiritual realm, all of them. And this has just been taken from us in the last 100 years down this materialistic road of stuff, things, belongings, stuff that you gotta have. Your neighbor's got it. He's interested. Doesn't look very Vietnamese. Looks African. He's just like a gent, though, with all of these people. Then none of them look Vietnamese. They look Aboriginal. Maybe they're brought in as part of the People's Zoos because this is Hanoi and they're African. People's Zoo again. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Encampments and like for expositions, they have people from different countries explained on a previous post, and they have them living in the environment that they would live in, like if you were in the Philippines or what have you. So, not very big elephants, them, but they're lovely. I hope they're not mistreated in any way. So a load of pissheads, drinking spirits, nice little bit of an environment. I don't see too many Vietnamese here at all. But there is the French. A couple of Vietnamese here, looking like they might be a bit more elite. They're definitely more elite than outside. These are the Vietnamese elites with the French, which they're bound to have. All societies got the elite structure. Even the Chinese, aren't they? They got their fantastic looking, clever, elite people. They're not all like bucktooth farmers, are they? They got their elites and stuff. So that's inside all the exposition exhibits. Wow, I can't imagine what all that is. It's Hanoi, and it's not what you'd imagine for Vietnam at all. That's an armory, a pottery and an armory. And art, I guess. I don't know. Wow, look at this. Imagine walking in there. Look at the effort on this exposition case. All carved. Holy moly, look at that. Somebody carved that just for a couple of months and built all of this for a couple of months. Just to show a few pots. No, I'm not buying it. So arts and crafts and that. So yeah, Hanoi. Another one with an exposition, which is out of character for a place anyway that looks like that, if you ask me, I think. So are we getting to it? Anyway, I'm getting to 11 o'clock. I've been on nearly 3 hours. And I'm going to talk about Mort Cages a second. I talked about it before. Antigua dead. So I had a phone call the other day. My mate said that there's an idea going around that you can live eternal, like in the case of Rothschild, who's apparently just died. So before they die, you put them in some sort of like Faraday cage type affair. And in the next bed alongside a pregnant woman with a fetus. And they reckon that if you stop the soul leaving that Faraday or that electromagnetic enclosure, if you like, and it forces the spirit into the fetus of the pregnant woman, so forcing a reincarnation. It's called a golem. And they're doing it. And it's a way of carrying on them. So all you got to do is wait another 20 years and then he's back in business. That makes sense. It's a bit like doing time quick, if you like. So with Mort Cages, we use, like, some of them got like Antiquitech, and the narrative is, when you look into Mort Cages, is the elite were putting these over their coffins because they were scared about vampirism and werewolves and the like. So it's not to keep, any gold the dead person may have, and these as well. So we thought that they could be doing like an electromagnetic shell around them, because if the person's in there, the brain might be active, but they're clinically dead and the soul has moved on, surely, hasn't it? You watch the soul leave a person when they die. That's the difference. Suddenly they're there, and then the eyes are dead because they're gone. That's the whole thing with dying, because the soul leaves the body. And a lot of them got the Antiquitech going on. So kind of thinking creating a charge at some reason. Why would they do that? Some of them are made of iron. These are in Britain, to keep the dead from rising. You've seen this grave in the memory of Harry Fiddler, also his wife Fanny. So, Fanny Fiddler. And these are a load of really unusual graves. Look at these ones, yeah. Stones, I mean. Just a jumble of all different styles and stuff. So headstones as well. Are they just for inscriptions, or is there more going on? Because this one's a giant megalith. And it's got like a thing on top. And that's in, I think, Beesden Church in Nottingham way. And then there's different ways, right? So in the end, there was a big thing with the Egyptians concerning the afterlife, wasn't there, guys? So they had like preparations all through their life, like Tutankhamun, to take their stuff to the afterlife when they went through the whole routine of reincarnation. But then you got tombs and mausoleums, haven't you? And crypts and catacombs. And the whole idea is somewhere to keep and preserve the dead. Why? Are they expecting some technology to come along later, and she's just waiting, bored, waiting for the technology to arrive to be able to reanimate the dead, or a time, a certain time? So there's Mellage there. See Mellage? Checking out a grave we went to many, many moons ago. Time flies. I don't know if she's in chat right now. Mellage? Ka-ching. So yeah, so I've been looking into Mort Cages. Let me come back for a minute, because time is just flying by. 864 of you still watching. I'm live on the Celtic Tartarian channel and the Martin Liedtkes channel tonight. And it's been a crazy week, a busy week. I would have loved to have made a couple of smaller videos this week for you all, but like time just got away with me. And as soon as I started like getting into like, catching up with my last post, doing all the stuff that I do, the week was gone. It was Thursday. I thought, for fuck's sake. So stuff to look forward to next week. Anyway, guys, I got an interview on this channel Wednesday with Jordan from Waters Above Crypto channel. He's been over here a couple of times before. Jordan's my brother. And we're going to talk about stuff. We usually get into consciousness subjects, which is probably where we're going to be going anyway, because that is our main interest at the moment. So hello, Kay, Sweetness and Angel, and Gainer. Oh, yeah. So there's another one. I seen Gainer in a chat. There's a guy. Dave, are you sure? Calling Planet X Dave, man. So Dave I watches, he's like a little guilty pleasure in the afternoon. And he's like, he's as mental as me. It's brilliant. So I'm definitely going to go over on his channel and hang out with him, probably this week. Okay. Because I think two of us together, we'd have a fucking scream. I think we're proper nuts and probably have a proper good laugh. So, yeah. So, Dave, Right, next, Dave. Flat Earth British is a fan. Get us over. Anyway. Newman's, good to see you. Dallas. That's a statement of you're scratching your head, isn't it, Newman? Okay, Dallas, follow my brother. Every step you take, move you make, I'll be watching you. Yeah. I got a police record. Walking on the moon. They were a good band. Sting's a bit of a twat. He was born on the same day as me, October the 2nd, 1967. Me, Sting, Keith Sutherland. Yeah, I know. All born the same day. Anyway. Ken, good to see you. So, yeah, please, if you would, if you have sharing abilities, could you try and share this video out? I will be, like, showing you a couple more things. I'm going very soon because this has been 3 hours to the dot since I started. And I've had a banging headache all day and I managed to get it down for the start of the show, but it was a bit detrimental. Jeremy, good to see you. Martin Liedtkes letting us know he had a massive donation from Red Cat Goblin, $900. I love Red Cat Goblin for that. That is beautiful, and I really do need it. Tips and stuff is keeps me going. I don't gonna wear surviving otherwise to do YouTube. Apart from AdSense and doing live things, they don't give you any AdSense. Live sacrifices that. Joshua, Mark, just GP. Hans. Remember Hans Moretti, guys? He used to be on television in the 70s on British telly, and they used to pretend that he could catch a bullet in his teeth. Do you remember him? Hans Moretti? Nuts. I've seen him at a circus once as well. Like in real life. And that guy who'd have done the budgies, that like swung on trapeze artists. Did you ever see them, the budgie trapeze? Don't worry. Trapeze artists are weird though, isn't they? If they fall, they're fucking dead. But like on nets. The real trapeze artist should have no nets whatsoever. But it must be nice to be able to just swing through the air and try not to miss the bar on the other side. What's happening, Chichin Chong? Hi, Cheech. What's happening? Josh. Batteries there. Batteries are dead bodies as well. Could be as well. I've said that. Human battery banks is on the Tartarian channel. You can check that out. So Bramwell Matt. Anyone who rejects their own for a global community is the enemy of life. I agree with that, but I would rephrase the word global because it sort of says that there's a globe, which, like, I don't know whether you noticed, I'm Flat Earth British. I'm not really doing that globy thing. Pavlov sheep. Anti-Savile Cage. No, they buried him in a shit ton of concrete so we can't exhume his body to find out if he's not in there, because he won't be in there, because the guy's done a flit when he knew he was going to come on top, and he's got done. Him and all of his gang. Newman's. Queen was one of them. She was in the gang. Frank Bruno. The Jack the Ripper. Fucking Peter Sutcliffe. It's like a bit of a kooky gang, that, isn't it, guys? British establishment just put up with it. Like, you know, I got like no respect for the people who support the British establishment. You know, like the people like Oasis. They were like, oh, this is supposed to be the greatest thing. Like, this is the new Beatles. Yeah, we had this like Britpop thing going on in the 1990s with the Blur and Oasis. And I went to see him as well. And just soon as Noel Gallagher went to 10 Downing Street with Meg, his girlfriend, sipping fucking champagne, cooked off his head, mind, in 10 Downing Street with Tony Blair. Yeah, all respect went out the window. I thought you may as well just bend over because you're one of them. And they are. And they're all in one of them. They ain't writing their own music. It's fucking stupid to write their own music. Okay. So I don't think that's the case. Maybe not Noel, the other one. But so it's just like all of the people that support that satanic thing, I can't stand anymore. Shadow Band can Mac Trom, Jolly Man. Am I wrong? No, you know I'm not. India, we love you, India. Artie, are you lovely? Yo, please consider becoming a member of Martin's channel. Yeah, channel members help as well. Really good. Thank you so much. Artie's lovely. And I seen you support me last week with your words from your mouth. Liddy, lovely Liddy. Irony is like irony. Funny fiddler. Yeah, funny fiddler. Yeah, I thought I'd slip that in. A little bit of a joke there. Crafty Kim, are you lovely? And I'm not too dirty. Anyway, it's all done the best possible taste. And if obviously, if I'm talking about that in a jokey sense, then you can just see through psychoanalyzation that I'm all right. Joshua Dean, Hans. It's not difficult to psychoanalyze Martin, is it? Pineal glands. I had my give a fuck gland surgically removed. I don't care anymore. Formaldehyde gives off a frequency. I heard that, Blue Sky. That might be a clue as well. Indeed, indeed. That's why they're using that formaldehyde. And different techniques with embalming anyway. You know, they can make them look really, really like they're alive. So, Kenty, Sherry Ives. Pants on. And Bramwell. London Man's in the house still. Hit the like buttons. Thanks for support my London Man brother. Thank you for that. And the Sippy Shake. Sharing stuff. Joy. Social Ripper. Never seen these things before. Well, there's a lot of stuff. Most of the stuff you see on Flat Earth British. I don't like to repeat, and I've had like 2,000 videos out there of like literally 1,000 images on every video. So millions of images over the time. It's like you'd think that I would have exhausted the internet by now. But I've saved a lot of stuff, so this would never, never be able to exhaust my personal accumulation of information and data and books. So Little Wing Sweetness and Light of My Life. He's Little Wing. It was turned me on to Dave, who I'm going to go on a show this week. Because I know so many Daves. It's like Dave Murphy, you got Dave Manel, Dave Weiss. It's just like the Daves. It's like deja vu, isn't it? It's when you watch Dave, the channel. That was not my joke. Somebody said that in my comments. Deja vu is watching Dave. I haven't got to tell you, and I know what you mean, though. It's Mock the Week repeated on Dave. I know. Tat McTwisted. Turn up for class on time, please. That's never going to happen. I'm just never going to get there. Because you said that, no, teacher, I'm going to be there late. In fact, I was thinking of like anyone was naughty, keeping you like, giving you detention. Yeah, you got to stay behind 10 minutes after the end of the show. So basically, just where you are right now. Which is not really detention, admittedly, but it's fun to say. So don't worry, I won't be giving you no detention. I'm not a strict teacher. I'm the teacher you can have a split with. A break time. Yeah, I'm the cool teacher. Banshee, good to see you. I would have been a really good teacher. I can see it now. I can see me like teaching, and I would have been a really good teacher in the classroom and stuff. But it's all that fake indoctrination thing would have been not very palatable. And I just can't honestly live with myself if I do shit like that. It's just like I'm not doing it. Ugh. I don't like this lying reality. Carol Dirt, love you. And Olympiala Emma. Good to see you. You got a really, really long name. Olympiala. I'll just call you Emma, all right? It's a bit better. Sorry. So, Fractal. Good to see you. And who else we got in the house? I said just JP. She's nice. Jessie. Good to see you. The Tree of Knowledge and Good and Evil. Tub Alchemy. Okay, Scudder Sniper. Who's the best patroller that you will ever come across, ever. Okay, he's got gelato. How do I know? I'm making my business to know what you're all smoking. Okay, I own this. Oh, hi Jilly, love you, girl. No, ain't it? No, not having it. I ain't having it. Well, I've had my surgically removed my give a fuck gland, so I don't even have to care about having it. Beautiful. I love that word, beautiful. Although I can never hardly spell it. John Doe, good to see you. Hey SSM fam. So what do you think about that? America was nearly went full Nazi for a while. Then it would have been Germany and America on the same side. But they fixed up a little invasion of the Japanese in Pearl Harbor, but they knew they were coming, so they sailed all the fleet out. So you only lost the Arizona and some stuff that was obsolete anyway. You know how it all went down. Another false flag staged event like all of the main historical events that have ever happened, like the Hindenburg. You do think that really happened? Or like that? We want to tell you about the melting temperatures again. That aluminium should have been liquid running if it had been hydrogen. So there's clearly something going on else, isn't it? And that guy's stupid narrative for it sort of gave the game away, and then it never went live, and then they edited it, and then it was looped over on the film the day later, and then all them people there with their cameras waiting for it to blow up. Ian, what go on? Something. Oh, whoa. Esley, you got a new picture, Esley. Unless it's a Mandela effect, and that is not you. Jay, Denise, Florin, good to see you, lovely. I love pie. I love pie too. I love pie. My favorite thing. Hairy pie. Shouldn't say. Jilly, good to see you again. Seen you a couple of minutes ago. Matt. Hippie shake. Inquisitor, you must believe. How will Guy? Good to see you. Okay, we got lots more to come. As I said, I've only shown a fraction of all of the stuff. I got a lot more, but I can't go over 3 hours. Nobody will watch it back. So do watch this back in increments if it's taking you forever to watch it. But like that 3 hours is like that, isn't it, guys? I'm like, where's the fucking time gone? I still got stuff to show you. So we've covered a lot in there anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed it. And history's a lie. And, you know, it should be spooky to you guys to think that they fabricated the whole of the past and the key moments in history for the stupid masses. Yeah, it's like an entire fake narrative for civilization. I think it's fucking mind-blowingly spooky. Magtron, everybody loves gravy. I love gravy. I make lovely gravy, I do. I'm a good cook. Super Chopper. Hello, Martin. My first time chatting here. Welcome. I like your name, Super Chopper. It's a good name. Are you a Super Chopper? Okay. Don't worry. Don't have to go into details. That's too much for a vlog. We don't need to know. So 111. It's 111. Crush a grape. It's 111. I'm going to love buzz on. Okay. Kevin Ball, good to see you. So yeah, loads to look forward to. I'm going to try and make a couple more vlogs this week. And I got live shows. Okay, so lots to look forward to in the Flat Earth British realm. Thank you, Romney Bear, for taking photographs and taking the time for us of your lovely country. And Karios is in the house as well. Hope you enjoyed the smelly hippie part. That was quite enjoyable, wasn't it? Lisa Ham Bradley. It was shot hours ago, and the balloon, wasn't it? Yeah, it was shot hours ago. It's just in. Have a look at the photograph on my thumbnail. It's in daylight, and the film's in the nighttime. I don't think, it's either one or t'other. Which one? I don't think they had night vision in 1936. I might be wrong. So you had a lovely time. Good. Sea pills. It is creepy. The whole thing's fucking creepy. But it's like I asked you all. Like I've learned a lot off of these community polls that I've been doing the last week. Some of them are seemingly stupid, like what's your best chat-up line? But there's a reason for it, and it gives me a good outline into people's mentality and what they're thinking and the demographic. Concerning, like, I knew nobody's going to know what deja vu actually is, and there's 100 different versions of what deja vu is, but I think each got their own idea of what is going on there. But it's a big clue to the holographic nature of reality, and I think it's literally a glitch in the matrix. That cat went past twice, that sort of thing going on, and that feeling is literally the whole world just stops in that moment, and it's like, fuck me, not only have I said that before, and this whole thing I've done before, and then you get like this echoey thing going on in your consciousness where it's just like the weirdest feeling is deja vu. But people have been saying, like my friend saying she got it like a couple of times in the last few weeks, and other people saying it's increasing. Yeah. It could be exactly what some people said in my comments, creator giving you I'm here. I'm here. Like with Mandela effect, you know, the creator, you know, whatever's happening here is supernatural by nature. I don't deny. I don't doubt that for 1 second. Everything that's happened in the awakening with the truthers and everything. It's been like literally magic constantly. So they were looking for a bull. Okay, Mr. Sidewinder, good to see you. I gotta get off and make a cuppa because I'm drinking cold coffee. Forest Cat. So thank you for your vibration, bringing it here. Thank you for visiting Flat Earth British. There's been quite a few people in tonight, and there's more to look forward to. Charlie, much love to you, my brother. Nice to see you again. And come nuts in the house. Share, like, and all in good things. And thank you very much for being here and making it also very special. Share, good to see you. Deja vu, you already said that. Yeah, I know people said that in the last thing. JT, but yeah. Okay, Crafty Kim and Mactron. So keep an eye on my community page. I'll give you updates on all the stuff that is going down and when hangouts are due and stuff. Belly rubs. I want my belly rubbed. Belly rubs all around. Oh, I'm having a belly rub off Little Wing. Much love from me and Smudge the cat. You tickle my belly. Should say that to a copper, a policeman. Say like a policeman like starts on you're going to arrest you or something. Just say, I'm really, really stoned. Will you tickle my belly? Weird him out a bit, you know. Soon fucking gate. Soon say, no, it's all right. We're unarresting. You go home. Worldwide ghosts. Ragialio. Breslu. You need lots of electricity to make hydrogen. That's true. But apparently it was helium was banned in America at that time. I can't work out why. Something going on with these balloons. That Chinese thing and the loon balloon being withdrawn. Don't worry, I'll give you some more thought. There's something definitely afoot here. Great show. Thank you, Mrs. Beach Person. Be well, be loved. Okay, much love to you. Beloved to you all. Ringles in the house. Had a lovely evening. Well, I hope you all have a fun when you're here. We don't keep things too serious, yeah? I think deja vu is a sign that you are on a certain path. Yeah, I said that. One that crosses all timelines and the point where all timelines engage for one person. Yeah, along them lines, I think, Josh, something like that is happening. Yeah, it's pretty hard to define that feeling, though. I can't really say how I feel when I get it, except for everything stops and then you get this echoey thing. So I used to get deja vu when I heard this, like somebody said once, Johnny, don't go on your own. Shouted it, and I was like, that was the deja vu moment. And it went, Johnny, don't go on your own. And it went like that in my head. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And then I had deja vu. And I heard that exact same phrase twice. Weird thing, there was a kid in my class and I used to sit next to me called Wayne Griffiths. He lives in Sydney now in Australia. I think he's the Hilton manager there. And he said, I heard something in my bedroom a while back. I said, what do you mean? He said, I heard a voice in my bedroom. I said, what do you mean you heard a voice? He said, I heard a male voice in my bedroom. I don't know what it was. I said, what did it say? He said, you're not going to believe me and it makes no sense. I said, what did the voice say, Wayne? He said, it said a lion on a lion bus. What? So it said a lion on a lion bus. It just came out of the air when I was in my bed in the night and I heard that, a lion in a lion bus. I was like, well, it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. But maybe it does for him later on because, you know, he went to be a hotelier in Australia. So what's stuck in my mind is a curious thing to hear out of the supernatural realm, but you never know. There's a sort of message in it for him somewhere, that's for sure. A lion and a lion bus. Weird. Anyway, I got to get going. So I hope you do enjoy. Please make sure to share. I got to get off and have a drink. I still got a bit of a head on me. And much peace and love to you all. Hope you have fun. See you soon. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Thank you.